Yes, people, how you doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Spurs Talk Show. How are you? How are you? Is the right microphone even on? No, of course it isn't. Now we're back in the game. Now we're back in the game. What's crack-a-lacking, people? What is crack-a-lacking? Happy Friday to you all. Happy Friday. I hope you're all happy and healthy, doing the things you love with those you love to do them with. It is another day of frustration. Another day. Let me get that empty bottle of Thatcher's out of the way. This is not from this morning, by the way. That's from yesterday. That's from yesterday. Well, the day before, actually. I didn't even drink yesterday. Ra-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. What's crack-a-lacking? Guys, smash the like button for me on the video as we get going. Hit the subscribe if you haven't already. Notification button should be squeezed. Comments should be dropped. Thick and fast. Let me know your thoughts. You're frustrated? Are you frustrated? We got 7 days. 7 days. Took her for a drink on Monday. We were trying to sign Savinho on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Listen, what are we doing here? I mean, £85 million was the City extra tweet yesterday. £85 million for that guy. Yeah, winding me up. It's winding me up. Some people are saying 65 million. To be honest, even that winding me up. Even that is winding me up. Gakpo also looking close. He's looking close because Mika Götze is going to PSG from Ajax. It's good enough for them. Why wasn't he good enough for us? Saïd El-Malah's move to Dortmund, however, has collapsed. The Dortmund chief has said Saïd El-Malah is not a player, is not a Dortmund player, and he won't be. What happened there? Well, reports are suggesting it is all about his asking price. 50 million euros. Too much. Spoke to Johnny this morning. Johnny was very much pushing his boy. Johnny's decided that the story of his summer is Saïd El-Malah, and he wants Tottenham to go in that direction. I don't mind it. There's other players that I think Tottenham could look at as well. But yeah, it's a ridiculous amount of money. But as Red Bellion is here, a Red Rebellion even, big up to you, Liverpool fan. It says, only once Barcola joins, then it's very likely Gakpo becomes yours. Yeah, so Mika Götze is going from Ajax to PSG. Then Bradley Barcola goes to Liverpool, and then they get stronger, and then we take Liverpool's unnecessary second hand. It is what it is. It's a pecking order in football, isn't it? And Cody Gakpo, for me, I'm more than happy with. I'm more than happy with Cody Gakpo. Different type of player. Where will he play? In the 9? On the left wing? He's not going to bench my Mathys Tel, let's be honest. Don't be ridiculous. No one's benching him. But, what's this? I salute Sean for attempting a marathon stream in this weather. Yeah, it's brutal outside, isn't it? Brutal outside. Is anyone else looking up a little bit, though, and seeing just a little bit too much tic-tac-toe in the way of geoengineering? And yet all I see on every bloody news channel, all of these media types that sit there pretending like the politicians of this world are the ones that don't do us any favours, that lie to us and manipulate us. And yet at the same bloody time, they're sitting there pretending like this left-right paradigm in politics makes any difference. And they're all talking about net zero. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? When China's creating, 1,000 times more carbon, all that nonsense. How about look up? Just look up. Yet no one in the mainstream media will acknowledge the fact that there are planes playing tic-tac bloody toe with the skies. It's insane. Not one of them has got the stones to talk about it. It's mental. Anyway, what's crack-a-lacking, people? That's my public service announcement. Look up or don't look up if you want to stay in the clouds. Big up to you all. Let's find out who's in the chilly chit-chat, and then we're going to say hello. It's Luke Sculthorpe's in the gaff. Big up to you, mate. Big up to Ozzy, Sam. Big up to Sean, you legend. Big up to you, Ozzy. Bourbon Buzzard, member of the show. Afternoon, Shawnee, good job. You didn't start that marathon bomber. Yeah, I'd be tired if that was the case. I'd be tired. I think it's coming, though. It's coming. It's coming, isn't it, right? H2O bubbly. Winding me up. It is winding me up. A lot of things are winding me up. Big up to Kate. Big up to Tottenham TV. 85 million for a 45 to 60 to 50 million pound player is insane. Completely agree, my man. Completely agree. How old is El Marla's brother? Might be worth it if he's 16 or 17. Yeah, there's some stories out there saying that that's the reason why El Marla's move broke down, because the family are getting involved, desperate for his brother to move with him. Look, that might be an off-putting factor. You don't want pushy family, right? You don't want a pushy family that are dictating the path. But if his brother's really good, if the other son's really good, then maybe not. Or how much will it cost? If it's an extra £1 million and you just give him a year and then cut him loose eventually. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not even that convinced by El Marla. I know his output is fantastic, but I don't feel as strongly about El Marla as Johnny does. Johnny seems to love this kid. I'm not sure myself, but is that a shave? Is that a shave or a non-shave look? This is post-shave recovery. Although I can see a little. What is that? Oh, got him! Got him! That's tap water, Shawnee. Yeah, something similar to that. Something similar in looks, anyway. In looks. Is this the start of the marathon stream? Stay on till Bomber. Listen, I feel like there's going to be some Bomber today, but it might not be an actual transfer Bomber. I think it's just going to be more noise that we're getting closer. We're getting closer. What we are really waiting for. Has anyone felt more engaged in other teams' transfer news than they do currently? Whether it's Neto to City, whether it's Barcola to Liverpool. I feel like normally I'll keep an eye on them, talk about them, and have a little bit of a say about these things. But actually, I feel like this season I'm far more interested in seeing these things, because the chain of custody is dependent on other people's signings. It feels like a January transfer window, you know. Tel's going to go to Turkey. No, he isn't, Hotspur. No, he isn't, mate. No, he is not. No, he is not. Evening to Rex, evening to Will. You think he's going to be a 9? Possibly. I saw you arguing with Grok about the chemtrails the other day, Sean. It winds me up. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. And yet Grok and Claude and Gemini and all these, they all sit there and say, there's no scientific evidence anywhere supporting the idea of geoengineering. Well, there actually is. There actually is, right? Geoengineering is not necessarily the same as chemtrails, but there actually is. But listen, we're talking about the same, trust the science nonsense that led us to the path of what happened with regards in 2019 without saying the words, right? Remember that Dr. F, that bozo who then took the 5th in America, right? He was the chief scientist. Trust him, yeah? Trust him. I wouldn't trust him with my next door neighbour's cat. What are we doing here? You know? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Same scientists that were saying in 1970 that in 20 years' time there's going to be, I don't know, well, they were saying what was it? What was it they were saying? They were talking about Miami beachfront, right? All those properties are going to be 20 foot underwater by the end of the millennium. And the politicians that were rolling those people out to say that stuff in front of the media, no one asked any questions because trust the scientists, right? Those people, yeah, those politicians still buying those properties, by the way. Still buying those properties. Still buying those properties. The whole thing is a fucking joke, bro. An absolute joke. Anyway. Sorry, getting off the topic, and I probably already demonetized myself because we've gone down the rabbit hole, haven't we? Anyway, in come the jewels. In come the jewels. Kicked. Yeah, you guys are on the wind-up again. You're on the wind-up with the jewels. Big up to the jewels from Johnny. Big up to Bookie TV. In the know, Ratata Tarts are winding me up. They're winding me up as well, but we've got to talk about them a little bit. We've got to talk about them in a little bit today. I'm not fucking doing this stuff again. Stop it, people. Stop it with the jewels. You pains in the arse. Thanks for the penny. Thanks for the penny. Winding me up. Anyway, how's everyone doing, guys? How's everyone doing? What did you guys get up to yesterday? Tell you what I got up to. I got up to some Twitter debates. All right, let me show you some Twitter debates that I had. People think apparently that Twitter isn't there to espouse your opinion. It really does wind me up when people that have a problem with your opinion, they're happy for them to not have a problem with espousing their opinion about your opinion, but you're not allowed to espouse your opinion about someone else's opinion or about the opinion that £85 million potentially for Savinho is too much. You know? Ridiculous. The amount of people that sit there and go, it's not your money. Well, first and fucking foremost, right? It actually is my money, just like it's your money and it's their money. If you go to the game, if you buy a shirt, if you have a Sky subscription or IPTV, or you buy any of the products, if you have a car and you get insured, AIA is a reinsurer. So the money goes around the economy, and a lot of it falls into the hands of Tottenham Hotspur, that then subsequently falls into the hands of people like Savinho in their salaries, or people like Manchester City, who are the owner of that player, at least contractually for the time being. So the argument that it isn't your money, where do you think Tottenham Hotspur get the fucking money from in the first place? Bozos. Second of all, and more importantly, just because it's not your money in your eyes, even though it kind of is technically, it doesn't mean that as a fan of the football club, a stakeholder in the best interest of the football club, that you are not allowed an opinion on the matter. Just like people that are shareholders in a company are not necessarily directing the flow of decision-making of what happens at the companies in which you own the shares. But if you have an issue with the policies and the protocols and the decisions in which they operate, you have the right to be able to talk about them either at shareholder meetings or in the public square, which, for what it's worth, that is what X is. It's a place for everybody to espouse their bloody opinions. It winds me up when people their opinion is allowed on your opinion, but your opinion on someone else's opinion must be silenced. Shut the fuck up. It really grinds my gears. It really, really grinds my gears. And thirdly, or fourthly, wherever I got into my monologue, there is something called an opportunity cost. Okay? What you spend on one, you can't spend on another. Whether you like De Zerbi's decision, if it's actually De Zerbi's decision to sign Savinho, or you don't, the decision will be made by the football club on whether or not they are allowed to, that they should spend what they spend. Whether it's 65 million or 85 million is by the by, but ultimately, whatever they are spending on one, they can't spend on another. If you rate Savinho and you go, well, even if you don't rate Savinho, even if you're of this bloody mindset that whatever De Zerbi wants, De Zerbi gets, which, by the way, I have a problem with just generally, and we've spoken about this, and I think Johnny's got Johnny might pop on in a little while. I forgot to send him the link. There you go. Hang on a second. Johnny might, let me see if he wants to come on. There's the link if you want it. If you are of the opinion that whatever De Zerbi wants, De Zerbi gets, then why are you on Twitter? Why are you responding to other people's opinions? You're on a place that is built to share your opinion. It doesn't mean your opinion should be listened to. It doesn't mean your opinion is right or wrong. But the whole point of being on Twitter is to opine. You know? The whole point of its existence is to get things off your bloody chest. Some people. And by the way, I have no problem with them opining, but I do have a problem with them telling me that I'm not allowed to opine. You know? Rocket science, is it, people? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Anyway, we got loads more of these bloody jewels coming through. The donuts are donutting. Let me get them up. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up to you, H. Wallace. Appreciate you. Big up, big up, big up for the pennies. Look after the pennies, and the pounds will take care of themselves. Look after the pounds, and you might be able to buy a Savinho at 50% above his actual value, if even his value is attributed only to the market madness. It's absolutely mental. Big up to Spurs 6659 saying, sorry to start the wind up. You don't start in the wind. I'm wound up. I am wound up. I've also got to talk. I've got some fucking things I've got to get off my chest this morning. I put out a clip from the show I did with Jimbo and Kate and Danny and Eugene, I think it was, whoever else was on the show. It was 5 of us the other night about carp fishing, and we were talking about Micky van der Ven's wages and all that stuff. Another load of people who come up with and I only clipped that up and put it up on the show yesterday, or day before yesterday, I think it was. I only put up, big up to John Turney as well for the 800 joules. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate you. That's actually very generous, buddy. Well done, well done. But like another thing, like that conversation started with me sharing someone else's tweet. Inya Collins, I think her name was. She's a contributor on Also Spurs. And she was making the argument. It was her argument. I was just talking. I was the messenger of it. And, you know, content's got a content in an otherwise dry news cycle. I was just sort of saying, well, let me take the other side. 240 grand a week. It's a lot of money for a geezer that didn't really participate too much last year. And when he did participate, he was arguably responsible for us, or partly responsible for us finishing where we did 2 years running, right? So, listen, love the player, love him, did fantastically well in the Europa League. But on that basis, on the basis of you reward Micky van der Ven with 240 grand a week because we're going to highlight what he did in moments that were fantastic, do we not do the same sort of thing and play the same sort of game with anybody else that does those sorts of things, like a Brennan Johnson? Of course not, because no one feels the same way about Brennan Johnson as they do about Micky van der Ven. But there's consistency and there's inconsistency, and I'm here to point out the inconsistencies, especially when they wind me up, right? So, yeah, what's she saying? Oh, she's hiding in the chat today. She's hiding in the chat. Oh, what's wrong, Kate? Don't want to come on and get buried because I'm in a mood to wind people up. Yeah, you were arguing it as well in a very bad... Mate, listen, I wasn't arguing it in a bad way. I was making the point. It was devil's advocate stuff. And by the way, there was plenty of value to the fucking argument, because you could find probably on the fingers of one hand a little bit of spare change if you're pointing out players to me that have got monster contract upgrades that are not kids that have been rewarded, but established players that do well, kind of not do well, let's be honest. Like Micky van der Ven's season last year was hit and miss. In fact, it was a lot more missed than it was hit. His first season under Ange Postecoglou, sensational. But there was a lot of other reasons, right? A lot of other things to contemplate around Micky van der Ven's behaviour, or his lackluster effort, all that stuff. And yet you reward him with like a trebling of his contract. And I could name you 20 players off the top of my head who got those sorts of rewards who didn't end up making any improvements in their performance. And Inya Collins' point was that causation and correlation are not the same thing. That the reason why big teams win a lot of trophies is because they've acquired fantastic players that, as a consequence of them playing fantastically and being fantastic players, get the contract. Paying big money in contracts does not in and of itself constitute getting success. It's cart before the horse, tail wagging the dog stuff. I was simply making that argument, and once again, it was more jovial than it was sincere anyway. But once again, the comments are going to comment and start talking about De Zerbi knows best. Well, then what is the point? What is the point of having these sorts of platforms where you lot can all talk about, you know, whatever you want, get these thoughts off your chest? You know? Let's see what the chat's saying. Look at Kate hiding. She's hiding. She's hiding. She's fucking like that carp that Jimbo talks about. By the way, someone in the comments did reach out to me and said, I live 20 minutes from where you are, Sean. I live 20 minutes and I've got a couple of carp fishing rods. So if ever you want to go and like prove Jimbo wrong, you know, You know, it can happen, and it will happen. I haven't messaged him back yet, but I'm gonna go and catch a carp. I'm gonna go and catch a carp. What are we saying here? Oh yeah, it's so easy. Winding me up. Sean, you lost as devil advocate. Sadly, take the loss, lad. I didn't lose anything, mate. What are you talking about? I didn't lose anything. I had men like this man in the chat helping me out. You know, and Eugene. I'm wiping myself down with wet wipes and standing in front of a fan. Jesus Christ. Hashtag geoengineering. Hashtag geoengineering. Yeah. You absolute donut. And it will be streamed. It will be streamed. 24-hour stream. We'll do whatever Flower and his son was up to. We'll just put up a camera, get one of those giant like memory banks, like one of these, but a bigger one, like a box, and we'll just do a 24-hour stream. You know, but apparently you got to keep quiet. Don't know how that's going to work. As we figured out the other day, smarter men would realise that you put a lot more noise down one side of the river and a lot more noise down the other side of the river, and then trap the carps that are there in the inner zone. You know, and then just move the speakers a little bit closer, like a meter closer every 10 minutes, and then they're going to swim closer and closer and closer, and then just dangle the rod, dangle the string. We've got some people coming in at the same time. We've got some people coming in. They all want to come in and have a little word. Share the... Because I can tell Johnny's wound up as well. Johnny's pissed off with a lot of things. I had an hour conversation with him this morning, and I can see him doing the thing. So today's show, people, is sponsored by A Clockwork Mouse. How are you, Johnny? Good to see you, mate.
Yeah, I'm wound up, mate. I'm wound up. Wound up about everything. I'm wound up about frigging AdSense. I'm wound up about YouTube. I'm wound up about Spurs. I think the only good news today is Said El Mala's deal to Dortmund is off. Get in there, come on!
Yeah, what are we doing here, mate? What are we doing here? However, is there noisy parents involved in the background with this kid that want his son?
There are. Yeah, you've got to take the brother, you got to take the dog, the mum, the dad, the uncle. Yeah, you've got to take everyone. You've got to take everyone else with you. So that might be an issue. But look, just 20, I think. He's going to be 20 at the end of this month. Listen, for me, it's a no-brainer, but, you know, I'm not doing the buying. Johan Lang's got cobwebs on his head. Are
you part of this? It's not my money narrative. No. Good. No. You've got to have an opinion, mate. That's what we're doing here, right? That's what we're doing here. You've got to have an opinion.
Hang on. Listen, both things can be true. You don't care it's not my money, but you also do care if it's not your money and they spend 85, 65. Okay, Blaine, I'm listening. 65 plus add-ons.
It is our fucking money, though.
If we don't have that extra 20 million, I'll say it again. Okay? Let's rewind. Last summer, okay? Last summer, £60 million. We tried to sign him. It doesn't come off. In November, Spurs fans are tweeting, wow, we dodged a massive bullet there by not signing Savinho. Okay? Then in January, we're linked with him again. We don't want him. Then we had the whole more tweets, dodged the bullet. Thank God we never signed him. Now in the summer, all of a sudden, those same people are going, we've got to pay whatever it is. We've got to pay whatever it is. 1 goal, 2 assists in 880 minutes. It's got to be what you got to look beyond the stats.
Well, don't look at the stats when the stats don't support my opinion, right? Don't ever look at the stats when the stats don't support my opinion. If the stats support my opinion, let's look at the fucking stats, Johnny. Let me ask you this though: is it not also? By the way, Johnny, if you want to do the old stream to your channel, mate, just get the button. There should be a button at the top of your thing. Just click it, whack it on. But if you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, it's fine. Whatever.
I don't know how to. I've got end stream.
No, don't click that.
I want to do that.
No, there should be a way that you can. Oh, actually, no. Sorry, I can do it. I can just do it. Do you want me to add yours?
Yeah, go on, fuck it.
All right, we're adding it. We're adding it. Hang about, people. Balanced.
1 second.
Done. Hang about. Did it go in? StreamYard has lost access to your YouTube account. Oh, Johnny.
Mate, it's a disaster, mate. Everything's a disaster. I can't. It's lost.
Because I'll talk to you about it afterwards. We can't do it, but I'll talk to you about why afterwards. Because we removed the Spurs 5 Gmail account from the YouTube thing. we got to reconnect that straight after the stream. Anyway, let's get back just quickly. All the people that say it's not your money, what happens if the price is 110 million quid or 120 million quid? All right. If Tottenham end up paying 120, if City say the price we want for Savinho is 120 million quid for Savinho, right? Do those people then suddenly go, it's too much money? Or do they still stick to the notion of, no, it's not our money, we don't care?
Honestly, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, what are we doing here? You know? It's like, please. Do you know what it feels like? It feels like, you know, you've got a boyfriend or a girlfriend and they've been treating you like dog poo, and you're begging for him to come back. Let me think about it. And you're outside the flat, you're outside their house, and you're like watching them as the blokes come in, and you're still outside. Please help me. Please come back. And that's what it just feels like. We're just begging for this player. We're begging for him. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I see Victor Osimhen is going to go to Arsenal, and that is like a dagger, man, because we've been waiting. We put in a bid for Harry Kane, and like waiting on an answer from a guy who really he was never gonna come, but we've held off in the hope, just like we held off in the hope that Semenyo would sign, and that this one would sign, that Eze would sign, and we've done it again. And now we could have gone and got Victor Osimhen while they were twerking for Vinicius Jr. and Morgan Rogers and all of those. Like I said, we should have got our striker deal done straight away. First thing on the menu. Yeah?
Yeah.
Van Hecke would have still been there. Tonali, Fernandes, they would have all still been there.
Johnny, just super quick. Sorry, guys in the chat. Johnny, if you go into StreamYard, set up a StreamYard tab, right, and then go to connections, then it'll say reconnect, and then you've got to stick in your email address and then reconnect it that way, and then you'll be able to stream it live. Because we removed the Spurs 5 Gmail. You need to add your other account back in, and it will be able to.
Let's have a look now.
Whilst you're doing that, I'll look at some of these chats in the chilly chit chat here. I'll drop them out for a second and go back this way. By the way, guys, don't forget, I completely forgot to mention today's sponsors of the show. Code Sean 10 at checkout. OK Jersey. They've got the training tops that are up there. The third kit's about to be launched. They've got all the retro, the Jeremy Jacquets. Sean 10% off at checkout. You know what to do. OK Jersey, 10% off. Don't also forget the Spurs Hub, right? The Spurs Hub, guys. By the way, the Spurs Hub is about to have, obviously, the season's launch, right? The real value difference in the data hub for the Spurs Hub is going to be found as of this weekend, because it's all about event level data. All of the data MBs and the Y Scouts and all that shit, you have to, that's all a year-old data, so it's all looking at last season. With the Spurs Hub, we are able to analyze Tottenham's specific team tactics and, of course, player individual stuff in real time, which is massively important. Event level data. So every single Monday morning after a game, we'll be able to go in there and zoom into the specific event level data. They also now have something called phases of play, which is going to be sensational for us, right? Because if there's a situation where, let's just use Savinho as an example, assuming we sign him, right? Let's say that there is a moment in the game when you're 1-0 up and it's 80 minutes on the clock and Tottenham are winning, and then the other team has the ball. We break them down, we transition, and he gets the ball. Whether he scores or misses, that would traditionally just be recognized by something called XG or XA, right? Did he do the job? How easy was the chance? Did he put it in the back of the net to make us 2-0 up or otherwise? If it turns out that he misses the chance and then, say, the other team go down the other end of the game in the next 5 minutes and put the ball in the back of the net and we end up drawing the game 1-1, well, the XG and the XA is one thing, but there's a phase of play in the game value that missing that chance or taking that chance should be more accentuated, more amplified because of the state of play. And over the course of a season, that sort of data will be able to tell you whether they're big moment players, not just big game players, but whether they're big moment players. And so this is something which is about to be launched. Matt, you keep dropping in and then your camera freezes, bro. I hope you're okay, but need to get your thing working. Come back in if you can get the thing frozen, unfrozen. So that phase of play data level is going to be insane, and you'll only be able to find it on the Spurs Hub, and we're going to double down and dial into it very, very much. So please do get over to the SpursHub.co.uk right there. Sign up for free. It's free to do, and you'll be able to see all the access as much as all the other things. You can find new content creators and all that jam as well. Also, we are sponsored today by Oxford Natural. I've just got to take care of the admin there. Stay with me, guys. We're back in 2 minutes, and we will get on with the game.
Some of you may be aware that I've recently begun my own health journey as we move into the second half of 2026. And that's all being shaped and aided by the sponsor of today's video, Oxford Natural, and their new improved formula and recipe for their optimum day and night pill. Now, it's not a miracle cure. You have to put in the hard graft, but essentially it works by taking a tablet in the morning that will keep your cravings at bay, keep your metabolism firing on all cylinders, and make sure that your mind stays sharp and focused and avoids all of those distractions and temptations. Now, they do that by combining the very best ingredients in the game at the right levels to make sure that you can maximize your results. The nighttime pill is essentially about recovery and making sure that you have the best night's sleep possible so that, again, you're not tired in the morning, whereby you're more likely to fall into those temptation traps. Now, look, you can follow my journey and see how I get on, or you can skip ahead here and see exactly what other people that have gone before me have achieved using optimum day and night. We could look at Robbie Lyle from AFTV, who is down over 100 pounds now in his weight loss and health journey. Quite incredible. How about Michael Owen, who's down over 40 pounds in his health journey using optimum day and night. There's also Anita, who is down over 60 pounds now in her journey, and Linda, who is down over 50 in hers. Quite incredible. As I say, it's not a miracle cure, but if you would like to join me on my journey, then we can do this together. And you can do that by going to the link in the description below, or going to the QR code, scanning the QR code. And when you go to the checkout, if you use the code STS70, as in Spurs Talk Show, STS70, then you will get 70% off your first order. And I'd love to see how you get on. We can do this together, guys. Let's get our health back on shape as we move into the second half of 2026.
Yes, guys, thanks very much for being patient there. Right, let's get on with the show. Johnny, if you're still in the background, mate, come back in. I've set your stream up. Johnny, you can come back in, bro. Just come back in. I've already done it. Just, just come. Johnny's such an absolute Luddite. We are now live on Talking Tottenham 1882 as well. He's such an absolute Luddite. He's there. He's back. Johnny, I've set the stream back up with my email address. I'll show you how to do it afterwards with your own email address. Matt, how are you, mate? Good to see you. You okay?
Yeah, all good, mate. Just trying to stay cool, surviving the heat, I think. But yeah, I'm all good. You?
Yeah, good, mate. Good. Johnny, you all right, bro?
Yeah.
Oh, you've got to close down your other tab or whatever it was that you set up. So close it down. Your other stream. Close down your other stream.
I'm back.
Johnny, close down the other tab you've got there, mate. Shut it down. All right, be back in the game, Johnny. You still haven't closed it down. Sorry about this. This is ridiculous, Johnny. Fuck's sake. I'll get rid of him. Are you there? Oh, how you doing, mate? Okay, we've got Kate in the house. Big up to you, Kate. How are you? Big up to Matt. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Good. I'm not having you call me out saying I'm hiding, as if I'd ever hide from you. You told me you were going to bury me the other day, and then you come to bury me, and you went, I've forgotten. I've forgotten what I was going to bury you with now.
I just need to get my popcorn first, guys, before you start going again.
Are you lying in bed, Matt?
It's the coolest room in the house. I'm just, sort of.
Nice, mate. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Listen, a lot of things are winding me up today. A lot of things are winding me up. People in the comment section, not in this comment section. This is the comment section here is always, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 stuff. But the comments on Twitter are winding me up. You know, no one seems to have the ability to, to understand that's the whole point of Twitter, right? It's opinions. Be up to you, Jimbo. How are you, mate? Good to see you.
And you, all right, Matt? I just thought I'd pop on because our Waldorf and Statler fucking moaning their bollocks off. Thought we better come and put some cheer on here.
What'd you call me?
Waldorf and Statler.
That's you and Johnny.
Well, here he is. He's going to defend himself now. You know? Oh, fuck, someone else has got. This is an absolute disaster of a show. There's fucking just everyone dropping in, dropping out. What is going on? What is going on? You know?
This is a bit like the Spurs transfer window. Shit, and more shit. Honestly.
One in, one out. Yeah, not great. Not great. We are live now on Talking Tottenham 1882 as well. So make sure you get over there and smash the subscribe button.
Is Matt still in bed? I mean, like, what? I'm on his life, mate. 110 lying in his cot in his bed.
It's my day off. It's my day off.
Loving the flock wallpaper, mate, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Sexy paper. Paper.
Thanks, mate.
So, just quickly, Jimbo, you know, I've got a date with the carp coming up, mate. Did I tell you that?
It's better than a date with a brass.
No, it isn't. That's where you're wrong, bro.
Well, good luck. I told you, and I'll say it now live on stream. If you catch a carp, well, I will come on here and apologise to you and tell you you're the bollocks. But
he has moved the goalposts, though, Jim. It was originally, I'm going to just get a rod. I ain't getting no help, and I'm going to do it. Now I'm going to go to speak to this guy who's got some rods who's going to help me do it.
No, I didn't say that. I just said he lives 20 minutes near to me. And
I saw the comment.
Yeah.
If you don't get any help, you won't catch one.
What?
If you don't get any help, you won't catch one. You're gonna need someone to show you how to do it.
Now, you know what it is? I think in life, certain people like overcomplicate things because they want to sort of like try and sound like they're smarter than they are. I genuinely feel like if I can master the art very quickly of like, I don't know what you got to do, push a fucking button and then throw a rod and then let go of it and then do that. Like, it ain't gonna. It's not. It's. I just don't believe it's gonna be that challenging.
What bait are you using?
I don't know.
Exactly, Matt. Yeah, I don't know.
A llama.
Buy some maggots and go and try and catch a carp. Good luck.
Sure, mate. Don't listen.
I'm pretty sure you said perch before, so I think maybe I picked up on that. Maybe I'll just go and get some small fish and throw them in there. You know, or maybe I'll just cut up some fish and throw some chunk into the water.
Catch a shark.
Either way, we will see. Right, we will see. We're not going to talk about it again because if I do catch a carp, I want 10,000 new subs for mocking and ridiculing the entire fishing industry of all you lot who call carps are intelligent. And if I don't, then I will anticipate, appropriate mudding. But I think it's fair and reasonable.
I know a guy with a trawler net, Sean. That's all you need.
Exactly. That's the other thing, right? Can't be that difficult.
Catch 20 carp. Why catch one when you can catch 20 in one go?
Yeah. Imagine that.
What's that geezer doing? And they're all out with their rods all day. Throw the net in, drag them out, off you go. Eh?
It's chum, is it? Chum, whatever it's called. Shut up. Whatever it's called. Don't matter. Machine gun will do it, exactly. Anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about Savinho, right? Just quickly. I don't want to sort of rehash old news, but it looks like it's close. But actually, you know what? Fuck it, we'll pivot. Gakpo looks closer. Gakpo looks. See, he shit himself and fucked off. Gakpo looks closer because Bradley Barcola looks closer. So if as soon as that one's done, then maybe Barcola's done, then we can get hold of Gakpo. When do we anticipate that? And are you guys generally satisfied with Cody Gakpo as an option?
What are we paying for him? 120 million? What are we paying for him?
70.
I
think they want 70, Johnny, and they want 70.
Yeah. Listen, look, as far as I know, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, they act like a proper club, i.e. you don't sell any player until you got someone in to replace him, right? We sold Solomon before we had guaranteed that we're going to have someone playing at right back. We sold Spence before we knew if we would ever have a replacement for him, and so on and so forth. What are we going to do next? Sell Richie? We sold Lancashire before we got a striker. What are we going to do now? Sell Richie before we get a striker, and then find out that Solanke's been brushing his teeth too hard, or he tripped over a hairbrush and he's out for a couple of months? I mean, what are we doing here? You know, why can't we act like a big club?
Well, if you're selling before you're buying, then there's a problem. And if you're buying before you're selling, then there's also a problem. But like, I've got to be honest, Johnny.
I know which one I'd rather be doing when you're selling all your players on the cheap. What does it matter?
Well, this is it, mate. This is it. Actually, this is nothing that's winding me up, okay? Like, all these people that are sitting there going, oh, thank fuck Daniel Levy's gone. Maybe so, right? But two things can be true at the same time. Just because Daniel Levy wasn't the right guy to lead us into this new ambitious version of Tottenham Hotspur that we're hopefully going to see, like the green shoots of, at the same time, are we supposed to just sit there and like have no opinion on the fact that we have overpaid for two players, about to overpay for a third and possibly a fourth, and undersold? Come on now. Like, Romero is worth, in this market, Romero is worth more. Jed Spence is the biggest outlier for me. And if Richarlison does go for like 15 million quid, like, that is another one that's going to wind me up. As much as I don't like Richarlison, in this market, he is worth far more than that sort of change. And yet, it just seems to me like these new Tottenham negotiators that are so much better than Daniel Levy's zero-sum version of football economics. And I agree, there's a middle ground, right? Daniel Levy wanted to nickel and dime and win every battle and all that stuff. There's no disagreement with me there. But if you just pay whatever someone asks and you just take whatever someone offers, that isn't negotiation. That is bending over and taking it right up the jackpot. And for me, I'm like, what? Are we not able to like have two conversations at the same time? That there is a better version of negotiation skill than Daniel Levy, but that what we've seen thus far from these guys isn't particularly impressive in the specific art of negotiation.
Well, first of all, Shawnee, it's all right saying we've sold Jed Spence too cheap or Romero too cheap, but no one was queuing up to buy him. So what are you going to do?
Hang on, Kate. I'm sorry, I have to interject there. Right, that's not correct. Okay, that's not correct. I'm not going to go into
who
it.
was the queue then? Who was the queue?
I'm just telling you, there was at least 5 Premier League clubs. Okay.
Well, whether that be true or not.
No, Kate. No, Kate. It's true. Okay.
Yeah, but I hear people
no, you don't need to
tell
hear
me
it.
things
I'm
are true, and
Kate,
they know someone.
Kate.
Lubo knew Jeff, who said that Kane was coming back. He never come back.
Kate, with the greatest respect, it's my best mate's fucking player. Okay.
So why, Johnny? So why didn't Spurs entertain it?
Why did Spurs not entertain what?
Well, the Premier League clubs.
Where would you roll? Would you turn down Inter Milan?
So he wanted to go there, so it was down to Jed.
It was he preferred to go to Inter Milan. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Right. So all right. Say that's the truth.
He played in Italy. Hang on, don't, Kate's saying it is whether it's true or not. Right? It's true. Okay. It's true. Okay. This isn't hearsay. Okay. Okay.
Well, it kind of is hearsay, though.
Well, it's not hearsay. They just got out the bloody car with him. If you watch the fucking video.
No,
right?
but it's hearsay to us because we weren't there to see it. It technically is hearsay.
Right.
It might be slightly more loaded than normal hearsay, but you weren't there, none of us were there, so it kind of is still hearsay.
And there was nothing. Why has there nothing come out about it? Why have we not heard anything? Is there a reason they kept it quiet?
Johnny, not acknowledging that it's technically hearsay doesn't negate your point. It just means
No, but when you say no one's, hang on a second. When they say no one's come in for him, I have to interject to correct that fact, right? Okay, because I told you.
Who came in for Jed Spence?
I'm not going to say who they are.
Well, we know what we heard, right? I'm not saying anything you've told me here, but we heard that Liverpool and Man United in the Premier League were looking at him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
but never put an offer in.
But Jed Spence didn't want to leave, right, Johnny?
Look,
Jed Spence
like Robertson has more or less been told Robertson will be the starting left back. So you come back from the World Cup, right? You're on a high. You get offered other clubs in Italy as well. He wasn't the only club that was offered in Italy either, right? But Inter Milan, when he was at Genoa, playing there, it was something that he'd always wanted. So there's no problem with that. I mean, he's replacing. Let's be serious, right? He's gone to Inter Milan. He's had a massive wage increase, and he's replaced Denzel Dumfries, mate. It's not a step down. It's not a step sideways, right? He had no interest in a step sideways or downwards, only upwards. So, and let's be honest, right? Had he been given a starting position at Spurs, he wouldn't have left. So,
well, I'll tell you something, Johnny. He looked. I haven't seen him smile for about a year, but when he got into Inter Milan, he was smiling his head off. I don't think he was happy. He didn't look happy here.
It didn't look happy. I don't think he's ever looked really happy. I don't think I've seen him smile maybe like half.
Quiet demeanour.
He looked happy this morning.
Oh, is there videos of him being out in Italy? Is there?
Yeah, is him getting out of like a taxi or something.
Yeah,
okay. And he was smiling.
You see my mate's son there.
Smiling his head off.
You can see my mate's son. He came out in a white outfit. My mate's
son might just be
on the right hand side.
It might just be his personality where he doesn't ever look sort of that happy. I don't know. He might just see it as more of, as some footballers do, is just as a kind of job rather than loving football. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Okay, but the point I was trying to make, and again, John, I'm not trying to. Obviously, I know, like what you.
Yeah. No, I only interject.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah. It's just the only reason I called you up on the technicality is that because no one was there in this room, then saying things were fact. We don't know. Like I assume, I know you trust what you're hearing and stuff. I'm just saying, like technically, it is still kind of hearsay, but it's probably more informed hearsay than the most. But what I would challenge, and this isn't about Jed or about the agent or about Inter. This is more about what the point I was trying to make about Tottenham's, this newfound fucking love affair with Tottenham's ownership. People like Lubo that were spent the last 4 years that I've known the geezer, hating on everything that this club does and saying that Daniel Levy is responsible for all the ails and yet suddenly falling in love with Tottenham 2.0. My argument is that thus far, I haven't seen any value in the negotiations. I've seen value from the owners putting their hand in their pocket and leveling up on the wage structure.
And that's to be applauded.
100%. 100% applauded. But that doesn't, two things can be true or untrue at the same time. If you sit there and say, how much do you want for Tonali? And they say 100 million quid and you spend a week going, okay, we'll give you 60. No. Okay, 70. No. 80. No. 90. No. Okay, we'll just give you 100. That's not negotiation. That is just bending over. And the same with Fernandes. Now, I understand the context in that because of where we were, we need to pay up above the odds. I get all that. But when you then look at the outgoings and you sit there and say, well, you in this market that we helped to create, you're getting £5 million more than what you paid for Jed Spence when he was a championship player who signed a new contract since. So his contract was not an issue. It feels like Inter Milan phoned up and said, what do you want? and they say, we want 40, and then they go, no. And then you go, okay, we'll take 35. No. 30. No. 25. No. 20. Okay, get it done. Like, I feel like what the conversations are not negotiations. We'll ask nicely a few more times and end up just giving you what you want on both sides of the hockey. Same with Romero. And it will probably be the same with Vicario. It will probably be the same with Richalison or Pape Sarr. The only deal that you could sit there and say that's been a good one, and even then there's people that have a problem with it, was Vuskovic.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's probably the only one. Look, when you look at two of that, listen, whatever you think about Cuti Romero, but Cuti Romero and Jed Spence were two of the best performing players. You know, he turned up for Argentina in the World Cup. He didn't turn up for us, but he turned up for them in the World Cup. And Jed Spence turned up for England in the World Cup. Yet we sold them for a combined fee of, £60 million. And it's an average of 30 million a pop. I mean, you can't look what you can buy for 30 million. Nothing. Oliver Skip would probably go for 30 million in this market. I mean, I
don't understand. I don't understand why you're all fucking worried about it. He's gone now. That's it. We've got the money for him, and he's gone. At the end of the day, Johnny, I don't care if he's your mate's son, right, or your mate's friend.
No, that's not what it's. Mate, that isn't. That's not.
That's not part of the conversation. The conversation is around access
part of the conversation.
We're just talking about. He's obviously got arguably a top 5 fucking World Cup. When was the last time a World Cup came around and someone that was an unknown to world football generally, no disrespect to Jed Spence, but most people outside of England would never have heard of his fucking name. He puts himself on the fucking world roadmap. Most of the time, think about that.
The price goes up.
The price goes up ridiculous. Do you remember that guy, James Rodriguez, James, whatever his name is?
Rodriguez.
He had like an awesome World Cup like 8 years ago and went for like, I don't know, whatever it was, 75, 80 minutes. No one had heard of him. And he did fuck all after the World Cup.
Toto Scolari. There's loads of
millions.
Sean, look. We was never going to get the money that they wanted off of Inter Milan, right? Never. And that's where he wanted to go. So they've let him go where he wants to go. So
then if that's the case, then is the dog wagging the tail, or is the tail wagging the dog with regards
you got to look at both sides, right? You want Jed Spence to be happy. He's give a good service to Tottenham, right? So you don't want to send him somewhere he doesn't want to go, and you can't make him go somewhere he don't want to go anyway.
Well, you don't have to accept that he wants to go somewhere where you're getting half his value.
I also wouldn't want to strengthen a rival by giving, for example, Man United or Liverpool Jed Spence, and at least he's in Inter, where we're not, unless until we get back in the Champions League or Europe, we're not going to see him. I wish him luck, and if it's a move.
So you'd rather he go for 25 million quid to Inter Milan than 50 million quid to Man United?
Well, it's looking like 30 million, isn't it? It says 30 million on Sky. So
yeah, I'm seeing conflictions online. I'm seeing it was 30 million euros. On Sky, they're saying 30 million pounds.
Yeah, it says 30 million deal. I'm literally just reading the Sky Sports.
Yeah, listen, look, there'll be there's a sell on as well. So look, it is what it is, and Jimbo's right from that point of view. Listen, Jimbo, it's irrelevant. All the rest of it. We're just talking in general. How we haven't done what Sean's saying, and I agree with. We haven't done the best for ourselves with money coming in. Right? It's not our money, but when it is our money is when we turn around and we say we pay 85 million or whatever it is for Savinho. We can't buy the striker we want because we've run out of money now. We don't have the money to go and buy X, Y, or Z. We were going to buy 3 players, but now we've only got enough money for 2. That's the only time where we care about the money. Other than that, like you say, who gives a fuck about the money?
Sure. What I was actually going to say, Jim, can I just say one thing?
Yeah, go on.
Please? I mean, you said we're letting him go for half his money. He ain't worth 60 million of anyone's money. He's not even worth 50 millions of anyone's money.
Palestra's just signed for Chelsea, who looks like an absolute donkey for 52 million quid.
Okay, well, they're mugs then for paying it.
Well, that suits your argument to say that, but that's the market.
No. Sean, you actually sat here on the show not long ago and said 6-7 managers have had Spence and his attitude's all been an issue. You actually said that. And it's publicly reported that way, right?
Listen, I'm not. Yeah, I think people mistaking my narrative here, right? I'm trying to get to the crux of
I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying.
Why is it that we only get 25 million, 30 million, 28 million for Spence, whatever it will split the difference? Why is it we're only getting less than 40 million, 35 million for Romero? Right? Why is it that we're having to pay 100 million for Tonali? Is it because the tail is wagging the dog for the play, like the players get to decide where they go, and if that means that they get to go cheaper elsewhere by acting like donuts, acting like arseholes to some degree, whether that's Romero or because Jed Spence is a bad guy. Guys, I'll see you in the chat. I'll see you coming backstage. I'll bring you in just a second. Let me finish my rant. What is that noise in the background? Is it because of that, or is it because our negotiators in chief are not particularly very fucking good at negotiating? I'm not that bothered about the individual specific case with Jed Spence. Do I think that Jed Spence is far more worth to Tottenham than 25 million quid? 100% I do. Right? That's where I stand. I think he is far better than 26, 27, 28 million quid.
He's about 40 million.
I'd say 40 million. Yeah.
Right.
About 40 mil.
But again, individually, it's not about the individual case of whether Jed Spence is a donut, whether he's leveraged his move. None of that stuff matters, right? And Johnny, whether he's Johnny's mate's agent,
it's irrelevant.
None of that stuff is irrelevant. I'm trying to get to the crux of the issue, why it is that Tottenham are overpaying for everything we're buying and underselling everything we're selling. That's what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, and I get that. But first of all, if you look at, just let me finish because I'm not singling anyone out. But if you look at Romero and Jed, right, and you do take into account they might have bad attitudes, then that might have swayed the fact that we got less money for it. But when you look at Vuskovic, for me, that was fantastic money for a player that's never kicked a ball in the Premier League. So you've got to weigh it up both ways. I mean, some people keep saying that Vuskovic is going to be a world beater, but we've not seen it in the Premier League. So for me, to get that money for him was good. But I
think also to flip it the other way, it's would we all, for example, if we held out for like another 10 million and it takes another week to get rid of these players, that's the we're all going to start moaning. Oh well, there's no attackers coming in for Brentford then. So it's kind of devil's advocate, isn't it? Which one, I suppose you want. I mean, the club of the past, we might have spent another week haggling over these deals, and then that's an extra week where you're not going to be able, because you've got to get players out to get some players in. We've been told this.
So, Kate, are you happy that we sold Will Lancashire for 10 plus 10?
No, but I wouldn't have sold Will Lancashire full stop.
So my point is that the point here isn't about the money. It's the point is that the people who are in charge of buying and selling right now at the club, right, are not doing the best by Spurs.
But I think they're getting some things right and some things wrong.
Yeah,
that's how I see it. I mean, we can all focus on the things we've done wrong, but I think the Vuskovic deal, for instance, was good. You would argue the good deal was keeping Berghvall. I would argue the good deal was selling Berghvall.
Yeah.
It swings and roundabouts, and it's just opinions. But I personally think, Romero, we were never going to get top money for him because
he kind of killed himself, Kate. Yeah. He kind of killed his own price.
I know you know who Jed's agent is, and you might know Jed personally. I don't know. I can only go by the fact that manager after manager after manager has had a problem with this guy. He looks like he has got the weight of the world on his shoulders, yet he arrives into Milan. He looks like he's won the lottery. What I do understand is you can't set a precedent where if a player gets a little bit pissed off, they behave like a bozo so that they get a quick sale. And I get that. But I can't accept they're doing everything wrong. I think they're doing some right. I think they're doing some things wrong. Maybe that was too logical for everyone because everyone's gone quiet.
No, absolutely.
I agree with that.
The problem is that it's all judgment calls, right? It's all, there's no clear answer. It's a judgment call. And, I'm firmly in the camp that I don't understand why we sold Spence, not because I rate him as a player, but because we've only got 2 right backs, and it just doesn't make, you know. And I'm all about, you know, the squad makeup, you know, all of this kind of stuff, rather than the individuals and having feelings and emotions about them. So I don't understand from that perspective why we've sold our only right, one of our only 2 right backs. If it was a left back like Udogie, you know, why are we not selling Udogie? You know, we've got 4 or 5 left backs. We don't need 4 or 5 left backs. Sell one of them. You know,
yeah, but there must be a reason for De Zerbi to do that.
He wanted to leave, apparently.
And we've definitely
say that to Zerbi as well, didn't he?
Yeah, Kate. To your point, we've gone from.
There's a massive echo, guys. Someone's got an echo.
We've got left back. We don't need more.
No, who's that? Echo. What are we doing here?
Be me. I'm on the laptop now.
And we've done.
It's you, Adam.
To your point,
Is it me?
We've gone from.
Fuck's sake. Carry on.
If you mute me, Sean, it fixes the issue.
It might be you as well, Adam, to be honest.
So we've definitely gone from the position in, like, okay, it was a while ago, from the 90s and noughties, even maybe not even in the noughties, where the clubs had complete control over, or had the majority of the control over where players played. But we've gone completely the other way. Mm-hmm. We've gone to the point now where players seem to be dictating. Contracts mean nothing, right? Players dictate. However, we want Savinho, but we can't get him out of Man City for 14 months because Man City don't care. So on the one hand, you know, we're like, okay, you can go, no matter what kind of pain it causes us. But on the other hand, you've got clubs like Man City and Liverpool and whatever who are like, no, mate. You've got contracts with us and you're staying until we can let you go. And surely that's reasonable. Surely what they're doing is reasonable.
I do kind of think that this new ENIC 2.0 are trying to prove they're different by doing the exact opposite. And it's somewhere in the middle. It needs to be somewhere in the middle. But like I say, they're doing some things right, some things wrong. And as much as people ain't going to like it, it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for them. I think we need better football people. I think everyone knows that we need better football people in the club. But at the minute, I mean, I know everyone's moaning that we're in a bit of a crisis. I think we've got 3 weeks the window left, or 2.5 weeks, whatever. Just need to calm down a little bit. I just think De Zerbi has come in and said if they don't want to be here, they're not. I don't want them here. And maybe yes, we've cut our nose off to spite our face by getting them out for less money. But if a player really don't want to go, we all know. You know, Johnny doesn't agree with me, but the report of Jed's attitude. If you keep hearing he's unhappy, what are you going to get out of him? You know. Right or wrong, what are you going to get out of him?
Okay, so you're putting down Jed Spence's exit down to De Zerbi having an issue with the player and therefore accepting whatever the asking price that is offered for someone like him. That's what you're putting it down to. That he again, my point is that when you perform like you do at the World Cup, like him, there's no chance that you end up accepting a bid that is essentially not too dissimilar to what we bought him for when he was a championship player, unknown.
How much did we pay for him?
21 million euros, 19 million.
Yeah.
Let's face it. The more important price is not what we paid for him, not what profit. The more important price is how much is it going to cost us to replace him with like for like. Yeah, and we know if we go to Neco Williams, we're paying 50-60 million for him.
Well, I'd go get Munoz because he's available for
50-60 million for him.
Who's 30?
No, he's 25
million. He's going to be. He's under. I think Everton were close to getting him for about 22.
22, Matt.
Because he's 30 years old.
Yeah, but it's a short-term thing.
He's good on the ball. He's good on the ball. He's got good delivery.
He's a great player. It's a great player, yeah.
He could even be an option if you want to, play him as a more attacking fullback if Kudos is out on the wing or something, and then you could push Porro a bit further back or switch either way.
But the price point of Munoz is tied to his age.
Yeah.
And the price point of Jed is tied to his attitude. I don't get
Look, Kate, can I just cut in there? Can I just cut in there?
Possibly. Look, I'm not saying for sure. I'm saying possibly.
We don't look. We know Romero has got an attitude, right? And you can see that he's cocky and he's going to say what he wants to say when he wants to say it. But I kind of feel sorry for Jed with this attitude thing, because I remember when he came in and everyone said he had an attitude. He actually put his head down and worked his bollocks off to get in the first team, right? And you've got to take your hat off to him for that. But I don't. Maybe he's just one of these guys that's quiet. You don't really see him mingling a lot with the other players. Maybe he's just one of these guys that are quiet, that don't fit in as much as some of the others. So I kind of feel sorry for him a bit with this attitude thing, because we don't actually know that.
And not only that, right? I think everyone's going a little bit over the top with the World Cup thing. He'd done a couple of really good things, right?
No. He had a great World Cup. Come on.
He had a good World Cup. I'll give you good. I won't give you great. But has he turned that and shown us in a Tottenham shirt that he can do that on a regular basis? For me, no, he hasn't.
I'm wondering if Romero's attitude might actually be a positive for Atletico Madrid. I think they might. I do as well. Yeah.
I think he could also be a problem there, though. I think if he has an injury record like he does for us, I think that's what you got to incorporate as well. His price, why he's so cheap, his attitude, his injury problems. He's still gonna put Argentina ahead of Atletico Madrid. He's still going to go, I'm going early.
I don't even care now he's gone.
Yeah, I don't care either.
He needed to be gone out of that dressing room. He couldn't come back this summer and just start integrating with that.
I know Johnny sat
team.
there and was laughing at me because I was saying about his attitude. And if I had someone that knew someone, then maybe I'd react the same way. But we can only go by evidence we see with our eyes. I've heard ex-managers talk about Jed Spence. I've watched Jed Spence for Spurs, and I don't think he's worth double what we got for him. That's my opinion.
I think you could have got 40. But
yeah,
I also think if we were haggling over 10 million, it's going to be another week. And like I said, you're not getting your attacking signings through the door. Now, what do you want more? Do you want the attacking signings and lose 10 million? Or do you want to,
But not if you're paying 30 million quid more than the attacking player is worth, right? If we're sitting here justifying he's probably worth 40, but we'll take 28 or take whatever it's going to be 30, then we're accepting it on the low end. And we're also going to sit there and say, according to everyone on Twitter, it's not your money, so why do you care? Well, I care because there's a compounding effect of receiving less than your market value on the sales and paying fortunes more. Football is not just about what happens this summer, right? Everybody that's like, just pay the fucking money, next summer, you'll have a massive fucking problem. You'll have a massive problem with our ownership if we can't go and spend 150 million quid next summer, because we spent all this money this summer on players that didn't justify it. And
how much have we made back? How much have we made back in sales? Can anyone work that out?
80 million or something like that, like 100 million, including Jed.
It's a lot.
Like
I think they said on Sky Sports when we get the money for Spence and when we get the money for Romero.
I think it goes above 100, doesn't it?
I think they said something about the net spend would have been about 49.
But you think with Romero, let's be honest, the way that he acted last season has played a massive part in the reason his costs going down and the reason him leaving. So if Spence had stayed at the club for another season and we didn't take that money now, he could have played up and been a bit of an arse. And then Spence could have, and then his value would not have gone up. Do you know
I think the manager made it quite clear. He said, if anyone who doesn't want to be here, there's the door.
Yeah,
exactly. And he's gone.
Could we have squeezed some more money out of Inter Milan for him?
Maybe, but what happens if they? I don't think they can afford much more. I think that's them going quite high for a player like that. That you got to remember, the rest of Europe is pretty skint compared to the Premier League. They don't have the TV rights money. It's just not the same
And
it's
we're
just
shopping
completely
in the
different
Premier
ballpark.
League, so you're going to
Yeah.
pay Premier League prices. De Zerbi is choosing to buy Premier League players. So although
Yeah.
your argument's valid there, Sean, because we're selling cheap, we're selling to European clubs, but we're buying in the Premier League, so we're always going to be paying more because that's just how it is. It's not right.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, that's fine. I'll agree with you on there. Let's move the conversation forward then, rather than going around in circles. Let's move the conversation forward to two other parts that I want to get. And by the way, I'm only presenting like an argument here. So before anyone in the chat or in the comments afterwards is going to accuse like me or anyone else in this chat or anyone else. But by the way, someone in the chat who's I've just blocked them and permanently banned. You don't come in here and accuse people on my panel of like racism intentions because that's
was that bamboozle?
No, it was Obsidian.
No, Obsidian. He's out. It's not even. He's out. He's gone. Like, fuck off. Fuck.
There is also. Sorry, Sean.
Let me land the point. I'll let you come first. I'll let you go first. The next part of the conversation, and Rain, if you need to drift back into what we just said, you can. But then answer the first part of the next bit first.
Yeah.
The next part of the conversation is: should we be trusting this narrative of Prem proven only? It's like this the Eugene philosophy, right? And I feel like that in and of itself has problems because is Savinho even fucking Prem proven? He might be Prem experienced, but is he Prem proven?
So there is so what I wanted to say, there is a reputation thing, right? You know, Spurs have had a reputation under our previous chairman of being hard nuts to crack. And you know, we don't do business. We haven't done business well. It's been well documented that it was now we want a little bit extra. Now we want a little bit extra off. There's another phone call. But now we've gone completely the other way. We've now got the reputation as a soft touch. We've now got the reputation of if you just don't negotiate with Spurs, then you're going to either get the money from them for the player that you want to buy, that they want to buy, or you're going to get the money off the player that you want to buy from them, the player that they're selling, and that's not a good place to be as a club. That's not a good place to have that reputation because then everybody's going to do it to you, absolutely everybody, and it just makes things hard.
But didn't they do that with Chelsea when they first come into the money, and the same as Man City? I'm sure that they started like that, and then obviously they've changed their ways down the line a little bit,
But also, the thing with I know loads of Brighton sources down here. Now, the original bid for Vuskovic was 30 million quid. Spurs said you're taking the biscuit a little bit, and then they got them up to 45, obviously plus add-on. So I would say that they're not just accepting anything. It's whether they, so I get your sort of point, Blaine, but with the Vuskovic thing, they did negotiate a higher fee for a bloke that's never even played Premier League football.
As part of having their pants pulled down for a guy with one year left on his contract, right? We ended up essentially swapping Van Hecke for Vuskovic. So,
yeah, and he's miles clear of him.
They're paying for potential.
Miles clear of him now.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, they're paying for
and Ashley Williams as well. The money we got for that was
had
good.
1 year left on his contract.
Yeah, I agree. You've got to argue there's a little bit of an overpayment there, particularly when you put it up against Romero, who had 4 years left. But he's, Van Hecke's not an absolute bozo. But there is questions, Sean. You're spot on with your question that there's got to be some question marks about only going for Prem-proven Premier League players because you're always going to pay a premium and you're going to get the delays. Because
I think
Premier
it's
a situation that
I think it's a scared thing of having. Stuff. I think they're just playing it safe. They need to just get back up that table and like Jimbo said the other night. He said we're just rebuilding and they're going Premier League players who know the league, who've been in the league, and they're not going to take any risks on players from other leagues at this moment. They need to get to a position where we're back up that league table and there's a lot more consistency there.
They're taking a massive risk on players like Savinho. They're taking a massive risk. Let me bring in my man Adam Score Draw Lot. Big up to you, bro. You've been sitting patiently trying to get a word in edgeways. I hope your internet's back up. We got to bring Johnny back in as well. Go on, Adam. What's your take on the whole thing, mate?
Well, one thing that I was saying well, that's moving the convo a little bit, but one thing I was saying on, I popped on the Two Marks show this morning, and I was saying, I chucked out there a bit of an analogy with the players that we're trying to get to come in at the moment. I've vanished.
No, you have. Just give me a second. I'm going to bring you back in. You keep talking. We can hear you.
Oh, can you? All right. What I was.
You're better looking now, Adam.
Oh, thanks, mate. He tells me to turn my camera on, and then he bounces me out.
No, I'm just moving things around, mate, making some space.
That's all right. No, you're fine. What I was saying on the show this morning, when they were talking about players coming in, like obviously where we're in a position right now, I did a bit of an analogy. I said to him that it seems to me where we're at right now with the transfer window, it's like the equivalent of like buying a house. Where we're at the end of the window now, I think that like if you're going to buy a player right now and trying to bring in a player, you've got the team that you're going for. If you're going in and you're trying to take their best player, their striker, and you're trying to bring them in, they've got to go out and do that search. And the thing is, when they're going out to another club and they're trying to bring in their top player, that club's got to then go out and do it. So it's like a change, you know what I mean? Like the analogy of the house thing. It's like a knock-on effect. And I think we're in a bit of a situation now that unless if you're going to a club like Real Madrid that's got 4 quality strikers, they can let one go. Do you know what I mean? But I think when you're going to clubs and you're taking their best players, unless they're like a Brighton or a Bournemouth that always have like a plan. Do you know what I mean? I fear now. That's why I said a little while ago. I think we're going to end up like with what's his name, Vlahovic. I think we're going to end up with someone like him. He's going to be he's been our backup plan all along because I think.
Is he gone?
He's gone already.
Has he already gone? Has he
gone to Turkey? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he really?
Everyone's going
money
to
in
Turkey
Turkey,
now.
isn't there?
TikTok, mate. TikTok.
Mate,
Turkey League, mate.
There's not many left.
That's what I mean. The markets are dry now, but it was dry at the beginning of the window anyway, wasn't it? So, like,
not even Vagisil can serve this dry market. I'll tell you.
Jesus Christ! Here comes the gushing conversation again.
Yeah. Let me just do some of these super chats, guys. There's loads of super chats. Sorry, there's 14 of them. Let me just quickly bang through them. Big up to Hotspur Mark for the jewels. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate you. Big up to Vice City Live. Opinion's got her opinion. Where's our £85 million Savio? Well, apparently it's going to happen soon. I actually think Gakpo's probably closer because I think I don't know. This whole Savio thing is really winding me up. Big up to Dean Chudini. Big up to Chudini with the 500 jewels. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate you, my man. Chudini, cheers to you. Timmers says, rate our window out of 10 so far. You know what? I'm going to save that for a little bit later on in the conversation. We'll come back to it. Big up to Chudini again with another 500 jewels. Big up to you, bro. Appreciate you, my man. Rex 003, member for 31 months. Big up to Rex for the longevity. Realistically, who would you want as our next signing? I'll save that as well. I'll come back to it. Let me just jump through some of these. Carp fishing talk show coming soon. It's gonna happen, especially if I catch one. If I fucking catch one, you know what? I might start a new channel, Butler Goes Fishing. And I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna go and catch some blue marlin.
Better than
more
Butler
chance of catching crabs.
Yeah, well, maybe. What position does the carp play? Says 665. Soft. Man, Soft. How you doing? I haven't seen you for ages, bro. I haven't seen you for ages. Good to see you. Good to see you. Romero had to go before he was set to return to camp. Would have rather sold him to Arsenal for 70 million. Or would you have rather sold him? Yeah.
Many would.
Yeah, I would. I would have done, yeah. I would have done. 100% I would have done.
I would have, yeah.
The only Premier League club showing interest, they're going to pay 70 million for Konza or Kwanzaa. Yeah, I would have. I personally would have done.
He could have got sent off for us.
One, more money. Two, he's got the bozo gene in him, and he would do that in a stupid game, and all the Arsenal fans would hate him. And three, it would cement the opinion of people who still to this day defend him, and there's lots of them out there. Stel wants to defend him, makes out like everyone else is wrong because he was right about I don't know how you can possibly ever negotiate that in your mind, but there's lots.
He said on the live last night. He said on the live last night. He said, he goes, in my opinion, I would have kept him. And I thought to myself, so what would he have done this year? Like what?
Yeah, listen, Romero's going obviously, but yeah, I would have personally taken 70 million quid for him, 100% rather than 35, 100%. I don't think he's that great a player. Big up to you. Big up to Howard Vale with the 1,000 jewels. Big up to you, bro. I appreciate you, mate. Very nice of you, man. Very, really cool of you. Daniel Field has gifted 1 Spurs Talk Show membership. Danny boy, appreciate you, mate. Whoever received it, make sure you say thank you. We'll see you on the fan show. Appreciate you, and also we also bring up the fan comments, the members' comments more often than anyone else's. Josh Caress says, "Are Spurs being a bit more accommodating this summer in the buy-sell transactions to placate relationships post Levy to keep future doors open?"
That's a good point.
I mean, what does that mean? You're like, let's bend over and take it up the jackpot.
Not bend over. Next time I said the other day, Sean, that it's a transition year for Tottenham. You know, it is 100%, and we was always going to overpay for players, right? And as for selling players, I mean, look, I think Jed Spence went probably 10 million too cheap, but I said a long time ago that you'd be lucky to get 40 for Romero, because he kind of cut his own price the way he acted.
Well, that's what I mean, though. But that's what I mean. You are like, that's what when I say the dog wagging the tail, or the tail wagging the dog. If you are enabling bad behaviour to accommodate future outcomes that suit the player, not the club. That is what I mean by that whole point.
But do you know what? Do you know what? Frank should have been on Romero's arse as soon as he come out on social media. And was acting like Bozo.
I think Frank should have done.
Yeah, he should have took the captaincy off of him, and he should have put. And he should have all there.
Captain's armband off.
Yeah, that's it. 100%.
Yeah, gone. Sit on the bench. Fuck off.
They just let him get away with it.
Too soft.
We heard what Sizzy said the other day. Romero turned up late for training multiple times during that time when we were in the relegation scrap. He didn't give a shit. He was trying to turn other players. You know, you can't. That's your captain. And then all the other younger players and players probably like Micky van der Ven are probably looking at it and going, fucking hell, this is our captain. I'm just disinterested, you know? And now what I'm seeing this summer is a connection again, that family element, the Pedro Porro thing for the World Cup. That's the old Spurs under Pochettino.
Oh, dude, that the get together with the legends and
that's from the manager. That's from the manager.
Absolutely fantastic, mate. Us fans lap this stuff up.
I'm telling you, Roberto De Zerbi gets this club. He gets it. Unfortunately, Thomas Frank never did.
This is how to get us fans on board,
right? Pape Matar Sarr won the only international trophy that his nation is ever going to win. They're not going to win the World Cup. Right, Pape Matar Sarr won the African Cup of Nations. That is as big a deal to the Africans as winning the Euros is to us, or winning the
Cup and the Audi Cup, or the Audi Cup for us,
or the Audi Cup, right? But who turned up for Pape Matar Sarr? Was it Maddison and Thomas Frank?
Yeah, they did like a video thing, but he didn't even. Yeah, I do know what you mean, but it's not. It's just not as big as the World Cup. Unfortunately, it's just not.
Yeah, but didn't they get stripped of it anyway?
Yeah, in the end, yeah.
I was going to say, can I just ask, guys, right? Chelsea right now are up Schitt's Creek, okay? They've got 41 professionals.
Yeah.
And they need to get down to 25. Unless they go out and buy a third
They just sold, they just sold Badia Shield, didn't they, to Napoli?
Badia Shield, but that's now down to 40. But they've got a whole load of players
Is Strasbourg full, Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny, Strasbourg, don't forget them.
Yeah.
Probably loan about 20 players to them.
So they might have to do a job. But, you know, rather than go for Savinho, if Manchester City are going for Neto, should we be going for Neto instead of Savinho? 100%. Yeah. So why not pay if he's 70 million pounds from Chelsea and they're desperate to get players out, why don't we go to Chelsea and pay the 65 million for Neto? At least he's more guaranteed. We know what we're getting, although he has had an injury history. I think I would rather sign Neto.
Plays both sides regularly as well, Johnny. Absolutely fits in with us.
Can we just
absolutely wonderful.
Let me get through the rest of the super chats, and then we'll come back to the Pedro Neto thing. Sorry, guys, I'll be real quick here. Football Outsider with the 250 joules. Big up to you. Appreciate you, mate. Very cool of you, my man. Where do we get to? 200 joules from Musings of a football fan. Big up to you, Musings. Appreciate you, mate. Very cool of you. AJ SY9SR says, if you have a problem with a car, you sell it on a cheap to get a quick sale. No one knows the conversation between Jed and RDZ, so stop speculating. That's what we do here, AJ. I appreciate the super chat, my man. But listen, if the conversation is always, we don't know, so let's not talk, there's no point in having fan channels, right? That's what a fan channel is. It's a place for us as content creators to get our thoughts off our chest, for you guys to come in and have your opinions, and your opinion is welcome, by the way, and I appreciate it, especially as a super chat, but I appreciate it in the normal situation as well. But like, we don't know. None of us know anything, but we are all stakeholders in the football club. And most of us, or a lot of us that are watching this, go to the games. We buy fucking Sky Sports subscriptions, or we buy Spurs Play, or we go to get whatever it is, you buy a shirt. You are contributing out of your hard-earned money into the football club. The football club can't survive without revenue. The revenue does not solely come from sponsors. And even if it does, the reason why those sponsors pay their money is because they make it back from you, or people like you, in some form or fashion, that go to the game or that watch Tottenham. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. So we are contributing. Therefore, our opinions are valid, and it's more than that. It's about getting things off your chest. So you're right. We are speculating, but that doesn't mean that we're not allowed to speculate. You're absolutely spot on that we don't know what's going on, but that's the whole point of a fan channel, is to chew these things over and allow people to get things off their chest. Big up to you, man.
Sean, based on that analogy, though, let's be honest, it's like a car that's just had a bloody engine rebuild and then we've sold it for less than the rebuild. Do you know what I mean? It's just had a good World Cup, so it's not like a burnt-out old banger, is it? Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Like you said earlier, when I was listening to you before I come on, when you said, as soon as you said James Rodriguez, I was like, fucking bang on the money, mate. Bang on the money.
He went for ridiculous money after a...
Oh, it was crazy. And then he just went off, fell off a cliff. Just fell off a cliff.
He was an attacker, wasn't he? He's an attacker as well, or midfielder. I think they do go for more, personally.
They do. But look at Palestra. Palestra just went from Chelsea. Went to Chelsea.
To try and get back on. Sean's on his show.
Johnny,
so I've gone on his show. So I can get on his show via the link, but I still can't.
Kick him.
Should we listen into the conversation, or should we? I'll put him on mute. Should we listen in? No, I won't do that. I won't do that to him. He might have said something. He might have said horrible about me.
Can I just say one real?
He's like, yeah, I'm chatting to that bozo again.
That fucking idiot Butler.
Can I just say one quick thing?
We are also streaming to his channel as well. Although he's
Shawnee.
Yes,
Shawnee.
Talking to the cleaner.
With regards to Spence and the World Cup, right? I'm keep hearing this. A lot of players play better when they play international football than they do for their club. It's just because they want to show up. You know, it's a different thing. Romero's a prime example. Absolutely epic for Argentina, but hasn't got the motivation for Spurs. And I think Tottenham fans are judging Spence's worth on the World Cup rather than what he's done for Tottenham.
No, I still believe that Jed Spence had a good season last season relative to most other players. Do you disagree?
Well, I thought he was out. He's decent, but he's not marvellous. We're talking like he's a world beater.
Let's be honest. All of the things that he did do in the World Cup, it was very individual, wasn't it? That's the other thing. It was. Do you know what I mean? Like when you've even mentioned that before, Sean, that he doesn't have that.
He also didn't obviously play every game either, did he? It was only towards the knockouts and the. I mean, he did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Dan Burn had a good World Cup. I mean,
If Jed Spence is worth £25 million, then Palestra isn't worth anything like 50. What are we doing here?
How old is Palestra?
There's a lot of players. There's a lot of players that went to that World Cup that were big time players that did fuck all. Do you know what I mean? There was a lot of players that went there that didn't do a lot.
It's not just about the World Cup. It's about, like, first of all, he's homegrown, but the homegrown value doesn't count when he goes to Italy. Right? There's a mistake. Second of all, like. Listen, we've spoken about him enough. Me personally, my opinion is that he has gone at least a 30% discount to what he's worth when you compare what else is going on in the market. And my whole point of today's show is really trying to figure out why it is that Tottenham overpay for everything you want to buy and undersell for everything you want to sell.
It's only this season, Sean. They don't normally do it, do they? But when Levy was here, they didn't do it. But then we didn't get real proper superstars in because he wouldn't go that extra mile.
Have we signed any superstars this summer?
Tonali.
Is he a superstar?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say he's pretty. I mean, Paul Scholes came out and said he's one of the best midfield. You know,
No, he said he was the best.
I like to think Paul Scholes knows what he's talking about being a midfielder.
Do me a fucking favour. What are you
you've
talking
got to take
about?
that up with Paul Scholes because he knows what he's talking about.
He's not the best midfielder in the Premier League by a fucking country mile. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago. There are at least
30, you said. Yeah.
There's at least 20 or 30 midfielders that are better than Sandro fucking Tonali.
No, I don't agree with that.
Yes, there are, mate. Go and pick anyone from Barcelona's
not
midfield.
30. That's harsh.
Anyone from Bayern Munich's midfield. Anyone from Real Madrid's midfield. Anyone from Chelsea's midfield. Anyone from
in the Premier League.
No,
he said in the Premier League.
What he said. I'm just talking about in world football. If you are a world-class player, you have to be in the top 5 in your position in world football. And Sandro Tonali gets on nobody's top 5 list in world football.
But you know what, Sean?
Do me a fucking favour.
Sean, why are you talking to? Why are you talking?
He also missed fucking half the games he played because he's a fucking addict, and I've got no problem with that. I sympathise. I'm an addict. Okay,
and then he came back and had a great season, though. He did brilliantly for Newcastle.
He had a shit season last season.
No, not last season. The year when he came back after the betting scandal, he was one of Newcastle's best midfielders. Okay, last season he had a bad season, but Newcastle were off it as well.
Sean, if you talk to Scholesy about it, right?
If you're a world-class player, do you have a bad season, Matt?
Well, Van Dijk did it.
If you talk to
Scholesy, I don't think Van Dijk's no longer world-class, personally.
But Sean,
Van Dijk is still a world-class centre-back, and Liverpool and them, they had a bad season.
He's well on the way down.
He is, but I'd still say he's up there with one of the world-class centre-backs. He is.
Sandro Tonali is not a top 5 midfielder. If you think he is, I have got.
I'm willing to say that De Zerbi will get the most out of him, and we will see the Tonali you saw at Milan.
I rate him, but he is not a top 5 midfielder in the world. Come on.
But does he upgrade our midfield?
100%. That's not the argument, though.
Neither but that's just, it's just your opinion, though, Sean.
Butler doesn't rate Tonali. I do rate Tonali, but not on the standards by which the argument is being presented that he's a world-class midfielder.
The argument was that he was the best midfielder in the Premier League. There was no world football.
He's not the best midfielder in the fucking Premier League.
I didn't say Scholes said it. Argue with Paul Scholes.
He's a fucking wobble his head. Just because he was a great player doesn't mean that he's fucking right. Jesus Christ!
The other thing is, Sean, you've got to bake in is that like you've even said it as well. Like, look at some of the players that we had last year; they couldn't perform because the way Frank was playing, the way he was playing, and
maybe Eddie Howe's misprofiled Tonali.
Exactly, he couldn't play the way that he wanted to play. That could be one factor. The team around him, there's so many factors. And then the other thing is as well, if you go by stats, Sean, which you've said before, which I agree with as well. If you go by stats, sometimes they don't always measure what you can see with the eye. And the other thing is that how much did you watch him like in the last 2-3 years? I mean, that's another thing as well. There's some people that watch him
in the last
every game, 90 minutes every week.
For the vast majority of that time, he was suffering a ban because he's a gambler.
Yeah, but now he's
Sean, if you was in charge of finances at Tottenham, would you have paid 100 million for him?
No.
Well, what would you have paid?
75 million? 80 million?
You would have lost him, would you, rather than go up that extra?
We have to pay more because we don't.
It's a question. I just want.
It's a good question.
I'm not someone that sits there and promotes Prem Proven as being the ultimate fucking game-changing line in the sand. I don't believe that. Like, if you're telling me that Vitinha was available, just as an argument, Vitinha from PSG was available for 80 million quid, right? And then someone turned around and said, sorry, we can't get him, but we'll pay 20 million more for a guy who's got a gambling addiction, who's missed out. It was a shit show last season, not because of his gambling addiction, because he just had his head turned or whatever else, right? He also wanted to go back to AC Milan. And now I'm making an argument which is going to sound like I'm anti-Tonali. I'm not. I'm delighted he's here. I can't wait to see him, and I hope he smashes it. I'm not in any way, shape, or form poo-pooing on the player. I'm answering your challenging question. If the idea is Prem proven is the way we have to go, and therefore we have to pay 25% more than what someone is worth, because they have played in the Prem and done it in the Prem. Vitinha, for me, is one of the best midfielders in the world. He's never stepped foot in the Premier League. If you're
hasn't he? He has
for Wolves, mate.
But then there's also availability. He's
You're right. He did, but he's not. He didn't prove himself at that level, right? He's proven himself since. Okay, so like Vitinha for me is the benchmark, or someone like fucking Pedri at Barcelona. These guys are world class fucking players. Okay, these are the sorts of players that you put into that ballpark. Sandro Tonali, for me, is not a world-class player. But if Tottenham's whole raison d'etre is Prem-proven is the only way, then that's their thing. But you're asking me, would I have done it? No, but I wouldn't have stood by the same narrative that Prem-proven is the only way to go about it. Because I think you're excluding 95% of footballers in the world.
Yeah, and do you know what? Do you know what? You're 100% right in the fact that about the Prem proven. They can't stay on that route. They have eventually got to start looking elsewhere because it's going to cost them too much money. So
three quarters of the Premier.
Just quickly, especially if you're also not willing to sell into the Premier League.
Yeah,
right? Why is it Newcastle were willing to sell into the Premier League? Because they could get 100 million quid. But we weren't willing to sell Jed Spence, who clearly De Zerbi doesn't rate for whatever reason, but he's not going to sell him into the Premier League. And Romero, the same thing. If you don't rate them because they're bozos, then surely they'll be bozos for the next team that you're competing with.
But the thing with that, Sean, right? The thing with that is, let's say three or four clubs. Johnny said several clubs were in for him. If he doesn't want to go there, what position does that put them in? If he says, "I don't want, I want to go to Inter Milan,"
do we know for a fact, Johnny, that someone like Jed Spence wouldn't have rather gone to Manchester United?
I think, without going into it, because I don't want to go too much into it, but Inter Milan was like a bit of a dream. So, he's already played out in Italy, remember? So he played out there for nearly 18 months at Genoa. So,
So if he refuses to go anywhere else, what do they do?
Look, Spurs have bought him.
But he might have been guaranteed a starting spot as well.
He's not guaranteed any starting spot. In fact, he's not even going to be starting for Spurs. He's just come back from the World Cup. I was just going to say this thing about Prem proven pisses me off because 3/4 of the bloody Premier League ain't Prem proven when they turn up in the Premier League, right? And I don't mind buying Prem proven, but why can't we mix and match? Why have we got to buy everyone from the Prem? There are players out there that we could buy for far less that could do a job. I fail to believe that the only person that could do a job like Tonali is Tonali. I don't believe that. I'm not disrespecting Tonali. We talk about bad eggs. Kuti, bad egg. Jed Spence, bad egg. But we sort of gloss over the fact that he was banned for a year, Tonali, for gambling. You can't have it. You can't have it one way and not the other.
We have to accept though that we're in a very particular window. 17th twice. Right,
exactly.
There's clearly a fire sale. There's clearly a fire sale going on out of Spurs. We've got players who've come to right to the end of the line, whether it's from their decision or our decision at Spurs, and we desperately need a change in culture, and that only comes from revamping the squad. But you can understand why within that context they would be like, right, we want the least risk. Look at Wirtz, right? Wirtz is going to be a fantastic Premier League player. But it took him, 6 to 9 months to get up to speed, and then the season ended. I reckon this season he'll kick on, right? Spurs don't have the luxury of allowing a player 6 months to wind up. to the Premier League. Like Johnny, like we did with Xavi last season, right? We got Xavi right at the end of the window, and everyone's like, he's rubbish. No, he isn't rubbish.
Because no one else wanted him, though.
He's just getting up to speed. It's just going to take him 2, 3, 4 months to get up to speed, and we're in a position where we can't afford to let anybody do that.
Why did we get Ryan, though, with respect, and I always respect what you got to say?
Thank you, mate.
There were 2 players left over in the transfer window, right? Garnacho and him. And both of them are waiting at Chelsea's gates. Which one am I going to choose? And Chelsea chose Garnacho, so we ended up with him. If they'd have chosen Simmons, they decided not to go for Simmons. We might have ended up with Garnacho, a fucking another numpty wrong'un, right? So I don't buy the fact that he was always the one we always wanted. He wasn't. He was
the one we wanted. The one we wanted was Morgan Gibbs-White. That's who we wanted.
Gibbs-White. We like Morgan Rogers, Morgan Gibbs-White, Eze, and we ended up with him. Now, that's not to disrespect Xavi. Hope Xavi goes on to become a top player. But you know, you get my point. You get my point. Xavi, no matter what he's done over there, you know, the vast majority of players, when they come from outside of the Premier League, sometimes even internal when they go club to club, but mostly when they come from outside the Premier League, it takes them some time, a month, 2 months, 3 months,
adjustment period.
Months. Yeah, exactly. And we can't afford for any players to do that. So it does kind of make sense that you buy internally, but that comes at a cost.
You don't think it takes time for a player to settle, even though he's in the Premier League at a new?
No, I do. I think it does as well. But it's
they know the league, right? They know the intensity, the physicality.
No, that's you know. But listen, Ekitike had no problem. You know why? Because he's elite. He's an elite player. I always thought Ekitike was the star of the show with the double act with him and Marmoush. You know, but look, I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs then going to look at signing Marmoush. Now all this is all taking place because we're a shit
exactly
show.
The same fucking problem with Marmoush as it is with Savinho.
Correct.
Correct.
You guys are donut.
You got to get one of them. You got to get one of them, and then don't deal with City because they've just pissed us around for about a year.
Apparently, someone put this thing. According to Romano, he's just been dropped on his YouTube channel. We're nowhere close with Savinho.
Yeah, I read that this morning, Sean.
Miguel Delaney said that Tottenham are moving in the right direction to get a deal done for Man City winger Savinho. He understands that Spurs are getting closer to an agreement for 65 million plus add-ons.
Talk about Carp, Sean. We are right on the end of the Man City line. They have got us on a hook.
This is what's winding me up.
Do you think that some of the top Premier League clubs are sort of doing it deliberately because they're a bit worried if we do get those sort of players that we could go.
Of course,
not saying take their spot, but get back up there, and they'll worry about that.
Same with Savinho. We did the same with Savinho. We just keep doing it. We've not learned our lesson, right? Okay, first time in ENIC 2.0, we made a few mistakes, right? That excuse don't wash anymore, right? Move the fuck on, right? Don't put all your... Listen, whatever you might say about Fabio Paratici, what he did, he played one off against the other, he spun 101 plates, and something shook, and he got the deal done. He played hardball with it. Okay, like we got this other one then, and something happened. Like everyone in football knows that we're chasing Savinho, right? Everyone. Is no secret. It's embarrassing. Go and prove us all wrong.
Embarrassing
and go and buy someone left field right now that no one is expecting. Then I'll give you plaudits and I'll applaud you.
Can I ask you all a question? Do you think that not talking about wingers? I mean just striker market, right? Do you think Tottenham at the moment are negotiating or have a plan or have a person in their mind that they're going for right now? That they're because let's be honest, sometimes they'll be doing a deal we won't know about it. Sometimes it's not always in the papers when Tottenham do a deal. Sometimes it will just come out of nowhere.
I wonder if they've just got something in the pipeline ready. If I think they'll get to a point where if Man City just keep pissing around, I think Spurs will have a backup that would
I'm not
I'm
talking about winger. I'm talking about striker. No, forget the Savinho argument and the Mamouche and all that bullshit. Just the striker market. I mean, I don't understand how they haven't just turned around and just laid down 100 million for fucking Osimhen.
But listen, Adam, right? And I've had this argument with a few people, and I would say Roberto De Zerbi sort of poo-pooed on my idea, which is fine, right? But I said the first thing that we should have done in this window was gone out and bought a striker. Sean and I on Football Inc. last year said, if Spurs don't go out right now, there's an abundance of top strikers. If we don't go out and buy a striker this summer window of 2025, we are going to pay for it in 2026, 27.
Yeah, because one by one, they've all gone. They've all gone, haven't
right.
they?
So last year they went, right? So I felt, right, look, there's only a few elite strikers out there. I've lost count how many times Sean and I have talked about Victor Osimhen, right? We could have gone out and dropped down £70 million or £60 million and got Victor Osimhen, right, from the off. Got him before anything else is done. Van Hecke would still been there. Tonali would have still been there because no one was chumming up to pay 100 million. No one's going to pay 85 million for Matheus Fernandes. But what we've done, we've gone backwards because it's harder to integrate the midfielders and the defenders, as Roberto De Zerbi says, and I understand that. But now we find ourselves in a situation where we need a complete, almost offensive line, and we're scurrying around trying to find someone, pay whatever it is to try and get anyone to come in at the club. And I just don't feel like that's a professional approach. And now, as you say, Adam, they've been dropping one by one. And now what are we looking at? Nicholas Jackson, Balogun. Who are we looking at now?
But then the other thing,
even in a world where you had unlimited funds, unlimited money, unlimited draw, if you're looking for a 20-25 goal a season striker, who are they in world football right now?
Osimhen and Kane.
And Haaland.
Yeah. Well, he's not ever leaving there, is he?
Mbappe as well, but that's
Mbappe.
I honestly still
the ones we could try and get out is
realistically, if you go there are no emerging strikers in world football. Pavlidis, do me a fucking favour. That guy scores a few goals in Portugal. Go and look at the amount of teams that he's beaten.
Raja. The Villa boy.
The Villa guy, 17 years old, right? Looks like
what is that, mate?
If that's what you want, and by the way, I'm on board. Go and get Francolino fucking Jew from Midtjylland, or go and get Samuel.
I like Mateta, but
thank God Foxy mentioned him.
Or go and get Jean-Philippe Mateta. Like, if you want a big guy like that, great. And I'm by the way, I don't disagree. I'm on board it, but the standard of strikers in world football, I've never seen it as
pretty rubbish. Yeah,
as a bone.
I looked at I was looking at something the other day, and it was showing the Ballon d'Or list, and it was like 20 odd years ago. And I mean, just that list was just like, you look at it and you're like, oh my God. And then I looked at the comments on the list. It was just like someone had uploaded it on TikTok, looked at the comment on the list, and it showed all of the strikers in world football that hadn't made that list. And the list went on forever. And nowadays, you look at that, you're right. There's nothing there, mate. There's no one out there that does that no more. But is that because the game's changed, or is it because it just isn't, that it ain't there?
Well, I think you have more goal scoring sort of wingers. I mean, look at how PSG play. They sort of share, all their wingers are basically play like strikers, in a way, left, right, Maybe with the targets we're going for, we're looking for a more fluid front three than just one sort of striker.
We got Solanke with a 5GA?
Yeah.
This is the question. You know what, guys? There's 11 super chats. Most of them are these things. Let me just run through some of these super chats, and then I want to push on with some.
Sean,
other
just to say before you do that, you've got enough jewels now to make yourself a fucking crown.
But these fucking jewels, mate, they're like two jewels. I appreciate everyone for winding me up with them. I really do. Like, you're all great wind-up merchants. But the couple of jewels here and there, no, what are we doing here? I do appreciate the jewels, though. Let's don't forget to get over to Kate and Jimbo's. I'll put the link in the chat. Don't forget to get over to Johnny's as well. Put the link in the chat. Let's crack. There's a few people here that have generated, donated rather. Rain is one of them. Big up to you, Rain. It's very, very generous of you, my man, to have gifted someone a Spurs Talk Show membership. Big up to you, whoever it was received. Please do make sure you say thank you to Rain in the chat. And I'll definitely do I've said it a million times, and I always fucking end up letting everyone down. They will come. It will come very soon. Spurs 6659 followed up with another gifted membership as well. That's on Johnny's channel.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Big
Appreciate that.
Big up to you, Spurs 6659 in the background. Sava's in the chat. Sava's on his fucking holly pops. He sent me a picture earlier on, trying to show me that he was on a holiday. All I saw was a picture full of his cock as he's taking a picture of on his sunbed, and it's just his fucking shorts with his, lump in the middle of the fucking stream. Big up to you, Sav. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, that was a banana. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, the old Nana, Sava the Nana. First time watching this channel. That old bloke Johnny is my favourite. Owen Kate.
That old bloke Johnny.
That's round Johnny right up. That is where it's a compliment mixed with an insult. And Johnny fucking.
No, I'm fine with it. It's part of a joke because I'll send it to something to him. To someone messaged me. I'm not even going to repeat what someone messaged me. I think I told you earlier, Sean.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
I think I told
Sam. It's what we go through. The shit we go through. The Stoic. Big up to the Stoic man. The man who's holding down the fort in the Spurs Hub's forums. Guys, don't forget the Spurs Hub. You can go over there and join the Stoic in the forum conversations. Why are we not battling other clubs for Savinho?
Because no one's stupid enough to pay the money.
We're competing with ourselves. Isn't
that a fucking question? Is that not a question? Is that not?
You know who's there? Hang on, Sean. You know what it is? Hello, yeah, this is Vinay. Look, I've spoken to the board. How much is the current bid? 65. Right, I'm going to go 70. Hello, is that Johan here?
Hang on, Johan. Johan, I've got someone else on the phone. Who's that? Hello, it's Rafi Mawson here.
We bid ourselves.
We are bidding against ourselves. Someone have a look at who's making the call, the outbound calls. You got Mawson on one end, you got anyway.
My God.
It's a good point, mate. It's a good point. What exactly? Where's the competition? Big up to Gazaroo for the loot box.
That's a proper one. 1,000
jewels. You, my man. Big up to you, bro. I don't know if they're your freebies or otherwise, but I appreciate you very much indeed. Football Heritage back, Sava's back. All eggs seem to be in two baskets, Gakpo and Savio. If it doesn't work, then it will be panic. If it does work, then it's over to RDZ.
Yeah, 100% agree with that one, Sava. Listen, he's demanding, if this doesn't come off and it doesn't work this season and we don't perform the way we have to, then it does lie with Roberto De Zerbi because, he's got everything he's wanted, more than any manager in the history of this club under ENIC, I would say, because even Pochettino didn't get what he wanted. So, I have faith in him for sure. But he has to deliver.
Johnny, can I just? We've been after Savio for 14 months. Is it actually? It might be De Zerbi sanctioned. Might be De Zerbi sanctioned, but it's still indicative of our transfer team not able to spin 10 plates at one time and pick one, right? Correct. And actually move like you said with Paratici. I don't care whether Paratici got things right or wrong. The way that he because there's always situations, but the way that he dealt with the market clearly is a good way to deal with it.
Yeah, this isn't.
Kate, let me ask you. You've been sitting there quite quiet, Kate. Let me bring in your take on this one here from from Wesley. He's actually put another one saying you skipped my super chat. I hadn't skipped it, buddy. It's just we get sidetracked, bro. They're all in the list and we're going through it. But I appreciate the second super chat reminding me of the first. But I'll always come to the super chats unless they're two fucking jewels. And on that basis, you lot fucking get a little fucking salute, and that's about it. You know, I appreciate you. Kate, let me ask you. He says, "Hey, Shawnee, I think part of it is because our club wants to sell Romero, Spence, Brighton, Newcastle, and City don't want to sell the players we have." It's been largely covered, but again, if that's the way, like, does that not just set precedents, Kate? That players can engineer moves. We haven't really heard Sky Sports. We haven't really heard Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher and whoever the fuck else are talking about player power. Do you remember like 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Player power was like the fucking thing. We don't really hear that anymore, but clearly there's just a new version of it, which is act like a bozo, get sold for bozo prices.
It's not something that's linked to Tottenham though, because we saw it with Isak going on strike for Liverpool. It's just I don't know how you solve it. You want to know the truth. It's all very well us sitting here moaning about it, but I don't know what the solution is. I mean, you might say we shouldn't have sold Romero, let him rot on the bench. Okay. What's the point in that? I'd rather just get some money in for him. And I think
if you're then going to take that money and spend it on Savinho.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Savinho thing for me, I said it about 3 weeks ago that we should put a deadline of the end of the week, and that was about 3 weeks ago. And I've been saying if they're going to upgrade with Neto, why are we not just cutting out the middleman and going straight for Neto? I prefer him, if you want to know the truth, but that's just me personally. But everyone knows the situation we're in. Everyone knows we've got loads of money. You know, it's well documented how much money Tottenham's got. So everyone's going to hold out for it. And it is what it is. And that's why the argument for whether we should just be sticking to buying from Premier League clubs is so valid, because they know the position we're in. So they're going to hold out for the most money. And, you know, City, I wouldn't deal with them for anybody. They're obviously still harbouring some sort of agenda against us for not letting them have Harry Kane for a start off, amongst other things. So, I mean, I would have moved on ages ago. I don't even think De Zerbi, like Rain said, the fact we were linked to Savinho last year, it would be a little bit funny if De Zerbi came out and said, he's my number one. You know, well, that's a coincidence. You know, we was looking for him last year. We're not fucking idiots. They might think we are, but we're not. So yeah,
player power is the thing. Player power is the thing, though, Kate. You know, apparently Basuma is gone on strike. He's had a couple of balloons and he's gone on strike unless Spurs let him leave the club. I don't think he's worked out yet that he has left the club. He's such a bozo. Oh yeah, player power is a thing, because whatever way we want to say it, like you say, Kuti engineered his way out. Players are engineering their way out, even if they're on long contracts, because I think the clubs have to take a view. And, you know, we had an inkling, didn't we, that Kuti Romero was being disruptive. Now it's coming out how disruptive he was. His body language told us he's disruptive. But obviously, Savinho has towed the line for many, many times, but he has been given so many hints. I mean, the only thing he hasn't done is turned up at Spurs training ground without permission. That's the only thing he's done. He's followed everyone. He's followed everyone at Spurs. He's liked all their posts. The only thing he hasn't done is turn up at the club.
I mean, the clubs.
The agents.
Well, you can't, Kate. The clubs are kind of fucked, aren't they? Because it's no good sitting them on the bench, because you're not only you're not getting the money in for what you're going to sell them for, but you're still paying them wages. So it's a real hard one, you know. But what they should have done, what Frank should have done, is when Van der Ven and Jed Spence ignored him, right? They should have got punished for it. And when Romero come out on social media slagging the club down, he should have been punished as well. But they just let them get away with it. And that's not helping the situation, is it?
Jim, whatever happened to 2-week fines?
I know. I mean, because look, it don't matter if the players are pissed off with the manager, right? They still shouldn't disrespect him on the pitch. They should, if they got something to say and they want to talk to him about it, should go in his office. privately and talk to him about it.
Not only
Not do
that,
it in
but
front of the world.
some of our fan base were backing him because he called out the board. You can't have players calling out the board. You just can't do it. And then to get no punishment for it. I mean, what's president? That just says to every player that the board is weak as fuck. It's madness.
Yeah.
Mika Götze has gone to PSG. I mean, what a player
here
he
we go.
is.
Here we go. Done.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
gone.
you know
I
what
mean,
then? You know what? Someone
that's
else.
the dominoes.
That is the domino. That's
it.
the kingpin. That's the kingpin keystone of the domino
So
effect.
Barcola
now
now
needs to go somewhere. Let's hope it's Liverpool.
I think Gakpo will be first.
And then Gakpo goes to Tottenham.
Yeah.
This is what I was saying earlier about the domino thing with us getting a striker. That's why I'm thinking that now, because like you were right, Johnny, that if we'd done it at the beginning of the window, it does. You don't have that domino effect. But now it's like you go out and try and take someone's best striker.
Is it Gakpo or
It'll be
Gakpo?
Gakpo.
Are we getting Gakpo or Gakpo?
No, it's Gakpo. It's Gakpo all day long. This guy is big, he's strong, he's clever, he's intelligent.
He scores goals. That's what we need.
He's going to play him as the 9 because he's hinted that he might play him up front.
It might be that fluid idea that Matt was talking about.
Nine.
Spoke about
False
many
nine.
times. Just I think it's like false 9, move around. I got to quickly call this one out.
Johnny, he's better than Solanke, mate. So that's all I'm interested in.
He's better than Solanke, 100%. He's better finisher, better than Richalison.
Great player, Mika Götze.
Just quickly, there's loads more
Yeah,
of
Oh,
these
I'd like him.
super chats. Honestly, guys, I want to say massive thank you for this fucking you're winding me up. I love it, but thank you, but fuck you at the same time, if you know what I mean.
You should just do the jewels while people are chatting, Sean.
That's what he's been doing.
But some of the jewels you have to
I've
say
noticed.
thank you for, because I think 200 jewels is like £1 or something. So thank you, and thank you very much. But I just like the actual. Fucking wind them up. But
Keep saving them up, Sean, and you better get a carp rod.
Yeah.
Or a hair transplant, depending what's more important.
Hey!
Oh,
What are we doing now? What are we doing now? Okay. The other thing is, I'm buying a bike. I'm going to buy myself a bike because I'm going to be doing John O'Groats to Land's End, and then I'm going to do the travel across America thing for charity, by the way. But big up to Sava, Mikel Tadzi, no brainer. Any take on Mikel Tadzi, because I think if you're going to get Mikel Tadzi, you need a little and a large. You can't.
Correct.
You can throw him in there, Johnny.
Peter Crouch, Wayne Rooney.
Yeah, but you can throw him in there. I don't know where you throw. I don't really know how you throw him in. But like maybe you throw him into the 9, and then if you were to play him in the 9, you'd throw a Cody Gakpo off the left, and you just let them all fucking figure it out and mix it up. But you can't have him and Savinho and Tel. You can't do that. No. But if you were to have Gakpo in certain games and a Mikel Tadzi, and then maybe a back 3 system, and then let those 2 guys at the top. For me, Mikel Tadzi would be I just think he would be fucking class as an option. I'm not sure if he starts. I'm not sure how it would work. It's outside of my knowledge base or my confidence to be able to know where exactly he fits in. But having him as an option, I think, would be sensational. He scores bangers everywhere he goes, Johnny, no?
I think he starts at the moment, right? He starts. He comes straight in. At 9.
In what position, though? In 9?
Yeah.
What? And then you have Mathys Tel and Savinho playing around him.
No, you have Gakpo on the left.
Oh, okay.
And Kudus.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
And
I mean, Man City went a few seasons, didn't they? Before they got Haaland, without a proper recognised striker, didn't they? They were just literally. It was all.
They had Alvarez, I think, didn't they? They had Alvarez as well.
They had De Bruyne. They had players who were scoring goals. They had so many
quality midfield players chipping in with goals, didn't they? You know, and if we end up being that for the season, but you know that we're going to be starting either a Richie or a Solanke each week.
I think the way modern football's going, it's more fluid systems. I think people want to try and replicate the PSG with the wingers that score goals and like a Dembele who can play a false 9 and sort of play in there. I think that's how it's going to go.
Sort of mismatch all about and everything, you know.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you can find a striker that can get 30 goals, you know, guaranteed. Then
it does confuse defences when you do play that system. They just
because you can't just mark one. You can't just mark the striker out the game. Yeah,
and I'm happy with that, but we still need them midfielders in, though, don't we? We ain't even got them midfielders. So
actually, guys, I'm thinking about it now. if you get on to Sean 10 or TT 10 and get on down to OK Jersey and get yourself a Dutch national shirt. Because if Gakpo comes, that puts us on 4 Dutch players. You know, maybe we'll get more. 4 Dutch players. Suddenly we're going to be invested in how well Holland do. And what with Xavi coming in now to run the team, who knows what could happen.
We've had a lot of Dutch players in the past, haven't we? We've had a lot of Dutch sort of international.
Yeah, I've heard of double Dutch, but I don't have a quad Dutch.
Quadruple Dutch.
Quadruple Dutch. I don't know what that signifies.
Yeah, but most people think of the Dutch team as a team with unbelievable players, but no chemistry because they all don't like each other. They've all got massive egos.
Yeah, Von Dutch.
Is that a problem? Are any of you guys concerned about that? That in the past that the Dutch are known as just having a little bit of arrogance, that when you put too many Dutch ovens into the cooker and it comes out smelling of shit.
To be Dutch ovens.
I just think we've got a manager who can absolutely cope with an egotistical player. And Thomas Frank, I'd be shitting myself because he couldn't knock the skin off a rice pudding, but I don't think RDZ is going to take shit from anyone.
Knock the skin off a rice pudding.
That was my gramps saying.
That was back in the day when they made rice pudding with a skin on top.
Yeah, but with no milk. I mean, can you imagine what it was like? It's like wallpaper paste.
Oh, my mum and dad used to fucking eat it. I couldn't eat that shit.
Let's do a few of these actual super chats. Big up to Uncle G. Says Osman is still available. Arsenal are only in rumoured talks. Nothing is stopping us from going all in for Osman and offering stupid money for him. Does anyone here, thumbs up, does anyone here actually think, who is it that's tapping on their fucking, is that
Not
you,
me.
Adam? No, it's someone in here is tapping.
Sounds like
I'm just
someone's
smoking.
banging one out.
I'm smoking a cigarette, mate. I'm smoking a cigarette.
Well, okay. Does anyone here actually think that that Osman is a realistic target?
Well, I put in the private chat, their president's come out and said, I will not sell Osman even if $1 billion is offered.
Oh, really?
So, no,
The worst that can happen is we push the price up for Arsenal. The worst that can happen is we push the price up for Arsenal to pay.
He ain't going to Arsenal. Can you imagine Mikel Arteta trying to manage his ego?
Well,
he couldn't do it with
he goes nowhere. He goes nowhere, or we get him because we put in a stupid £110 million bid, or Arsenal have to pay 120 million because we bid 110.
He's the only top class striker that's out there that has any chance of leaving, and we're only assuming that because we've heard rumours that Ekram Kunor made up that he was available for 65. There's nothing.
I think it's just the wages that would be. I think it's the wages that I don't know how much he'd want us to.
Well, on top of that,
what about Sorloth? What about Sorloth? I mean, we've obviously got half.
He's been in the Premier League before when he was at was it Crystal Palace.
I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Shocking.
Oh, was he really? Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but then you get the same argument about players like who was the left winger at Atalanta that went to Atletico Madrid that we wanted. What was his name? Fucking we spoke about him all last year. My memory's gone blank. I haven't taken my Oxford Natural this morning. Who was the left winger? Who was at Leicester, Leeds? Leicester, Fulham, Charlton, and Everton.
Yeah.
The Nigerian winger. Come on,
Lookman.
boys. Lookman, thank you.
Oh,
he was dog shit in the Premier League to some degree.
How can you forget his name?
My memory went blank for a minute. I haven't.
It's me. It's like me forgetting the side Del Mala. I may have not. Have I mentioned him? I'm not sure.
You haven't mentioned him today, mate. Before you do, I'll come through now because the move is off for Dortmund. Let me just get some of these other ones done. Big up to Sava as well. Very generous. 1,000 jewels, bro. 1,000 jewels from the Sava. Big up to you, Sava. Enjoy your holiday.
Big up on the bed.
Where are you, Sava? Where are you, Sava? Let us know where you are,
mate. He's out on holiday.
Big up to Shay Bryant as well for 800 jewels. Big up to you, Shay. I really appreciate you. Very, very cool of you. Big up to Coys for Life as well with the 750 jewels. Big up to you as well, my man. Appreciate you guys with the
I feel like I'm on the fucking shopping channel.
Daniel Field. Daniel Field has gone from being your favourite super sticker person to
now we just throws him up there. Bourbon Buzzard says Sean's got more jewels than a pirate. Yeah, it feels like it. Feels like, listen, I'll take the jewels. I'll take the jewels. It's just they clog
This
up
is a dual stream, so like if you fancy dropping a few jewels up my end, right, I won't be, unlike Sean, I won't be complaining because I've got a crown with not a single jewel in it. So
how do you know? How do you know? They could be for either. You don't know. You don't know until after the show. You don't know.
Oh, so you can't see what he's getting on his stream, is that?
No, all of the super chats come in. It's one. They might be on your stream as well. James _119 says 250 million jewels. Big up to you, James. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, bro. Very cool of you. Andrew Burnett says all fans think Cody is the dumbest player they've seen. Yeah. He's done well for them, though. He's done well for them. Let's be honest.
Yeah, you can't argue with his output. It's not, when you look at the statistics, it's not that bad.
No, in fairness, though, Matt, like, last season when we were doing the ink, I was amazed at how many Liverpool players were slagging him off, and I didn't quite understand it. It's not like a now he's leaving thing.
Well, plus you also look, he came off the bench a lot and scored, good goals, all variety. He can score goals from outside the box at all angles. He's someone we don't have.
Exactly.
And the Bumman says Campos just signed Mika Götze, Ferran Torres, and
Akliouche
for 160
What a
million.
window that is for them. Jesus.
For 160 million.
They're just going to come off the bench, aren't they?
Yeah. Let me ask you this, guys.
Surely we've got to jump in a minute because we need to eat.
Oh, okay, mate. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Make sure you get over to. Let me get the link up. Make sure you get over to.
Sure, Jimbo, you get lunch as well, mate. It's like an all-in package.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah, and sex. I get everything.
Yeah,
the lot.
Gushers are us. Yeah.
Big up to Kate and Jimbo for coming on.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having us, Sean.
Yeah, there's the link. There's the link for Kate and Jimbo.
See you later, guys.
Appreciate you guys.
See you later,
See you later, guys.
We're live at 6, just in case anyone wants to know. But yeah, thanks, Shawnee. Cheers, everyone.
See you guys. Take care.
See you later.
We're down to 5 now. Can make it back into a more normal. Oh, there you go. There you go. What was I going to say to you guys? Yeah, is Cody Gakpo? How do you feel about Cody Gakpo? Is anyone got a problem with Cody Gakpo at this stage?
Is he better than what we've got? Yes. Therefore, we can't complain.
Fucking well, I think we would take anything at this point, wouldn't we?
No.
I mean, if I'm saying that we're in a Moneyball window, Gakpo, as he looks, if you look over his record, he absolutely is going to give us 10 to 15 GA. So that's that. It's a no-brainer. Just like Mikatatse is for me. It's just
and the other thing you've got to think of as well. You've got to bake into that is that like Gakpo's been he's not been a starter every week for Liverpool, has he? He's been in and out of the team. So you think someone like a Gakpo or like a Mamouche that's been or Savio that anyone that's been on the fringe or in and out the team, anyone like that, they're coming into us playing once a week. They're going to get they're going to get real educated on that training grounds of the system that we're playing. They're probably going to play so much better for us in our system than they will be in a bit part for another team. Do you know what I mean?
The most important part of all of this, I know I joked about, Holland, is the link-up play that's already established. It's going to happen, bang, straight from the off, is Andy Robertson and Gakpo. That is that's the meal ticket, isn't it? The overlapping runs, understanding position. They ain't going to need no acclimatization to understand each other.
That's a good point.
So, I think there's something, a huge plus in that area.
Plus, he can settle in quick with all the Dutch players that are there already that he will know. Yeah. I'm sure he knows quite a few of the players, to be honest.
Do you know what? Another thing is, I pretty much quite a while ago wrote off Kulu coming back. And I tell you what, I saw him in. I don't know if anyone saw that training video with him the other day, where he went past like 5 players, and I'm telling you, the way that he did it was phenomenal. Like I don't know if anyone see that video of where he just man, the tricks that he did to get round these 5 players.
Was that the training video that was like leaked sort of fit? That wasn't him, I don't think.
It was like a above view.
That's Gokares. That's
Adam,
Gokares.
Adam,
I
don't
think.
rain on your parade, mate. But first of all, right, it wasn't real. Okay?
Wasn't it?
Right.
No, it wasn't real, mate. Because I nearly fell.
Don't say that was AI.
No, it was, mate. It was, and it wasn't him, and it wasn't even Spurs.
It was an Arsenal training video, I think.
They were in red tops, mate. Somebody put it out there. I nearly fell for it myself. So,
Also, I've never seen Gokares with that quick feet. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, it was like this.
Mate, I was like, what?
Mate, he's not even doing step overs yet. So no. That wasn't real.
I'd love to see him come back. I don't know. I'd love to see him back.
Well, I mean, on that point, Adam, the biggest concern I'd have with Gakpo is whether he'd trip over the carpet on the way into the training ground and get injured, because that's what seems to happen with all of our other players. And that's
we've got to stop looking. We've got to stop thinking like that, though.
Well, I know, I'm only joking, but it's the biggest unknown for this season, isn't it? Are we getting Madders back? Are we getting Kulusevski back? Is Kudus going to start against Brentford? Is he going to? When Xavi comes back, is he going to take 2 or 3 months? And we basically lost Xavi for this season. It's the biggest unknown.
Well, it's not the conversation where people say
because all of these players could have a massive impact. Like you're saying, if we get a Kulusevski that's 90% of the player that he was, and the impact that he had on the team, then actually, it's a massive thing for us. Absolutely huge.
Him and Kudos, he can compete with Maddison as well. He's very versatile.
Can we move the conversation forward to a little bit something more imminent than Brentford, which is tomorrow? What is your starting 11 for tomorrow, guys? Like, Micky van der Ven is back at the football club but didn't train for whatever reason, right? What is it? Is he injured or?
No, he got injured in the signing video.
legit, he's back at the football club but hasn't trained since he's been back.
I mean,
Pedro Porro is back. Like,
I wonder if they're just keeping things a bit cloak and dagger to keep people going. I don't know. It was weird, even with the Porro video, that obviously everyone was in training gear apart from Van der Ven. But I mean, that it could be, he just might.
Has he got a knock?
I don't.
What are we expecting? What's your anticipated starting 11 tomorrow, Matt? I'll let you go first.
I mean, I think I would like to see at least for one half the sort of first team that you think. Because they need to learn how to play with each other, right? And it's kind of been a bit mishmashy.
7 days until the start of the window, so yeah, it'd be nice.
No, but I'm sure he's been doing stuff with them he does loads of stuff in the training ground and stuff that
we're playing again on Sunday, aren't we? We're playing them again on Sunday.
Yeah.
He keeps things very. I think he's trying to keep things very private. I think he wants to just keep us a bit under the radar. He doesn't want to. That's why he's holding a lot of these players back. The way he's actually managing the players and not just running them into the ground like previous coaches. And even things like he's wanting to change the away dressing room and things like that.
I think what he'll do with one of the matches compared to the other match, I think he will. One of the games he will go with what he wants, what he potentially wants as the back four and like the back starting position. And then I reckon the next day maybe he'll go with the more of offensive setup of what he wants. He'll probably experiment with one end of the field, play what he thinks is right one end, and then vice versa the next game. I think that's what he'll try and do.
Is the Sunday game behind closed doors, or is it?
Yeah,
I don't know. It's 12 o'clock. I think.
Do you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't throw out the first team to be on and does it behind closed doors because he doesn't want people working it all out.
What was the changing room change? I didn't see that one.
Apparently he's asked for like a lot of the comforts of the away dressing room to be taken out. He doesn't want people like away teams feeling like the home team and feeling welcome. He wants them.
I agree.
Yeah, so I think he's asked for things to be like removed, like they're not going to have the nice soaps and all that sort of stuff. He doesn't want people coming here having a nice time. He wants it to be horrible. And
Can we sand the floor to make it against the grain so it's like a little bit prickly?
Let me ask. So, Johnny?
I'll send you the clip of it, Johnny. I'll send you it, mate.
Johnny, what's your starting 11 tomorrow?
Starting 11 will be Archie Gray, Van Hecke, Danso, Robertson, Tonali, Fernandes, Berghvall, Tel, Gallagher, Richalison. Have I missed one out?
You need a right winger.
I need a right winger.
I think you've named 12 players, actually.
No, I haven't. No, I definitely haven't named 12. Definitely not. Right winger, well...
Senesi.
I don't know who there is.
Would Senesi start ahead of it? Is Senesi? But I've not seen Senesi.
Well, no, Senesi's...
I haven't even seen him play yet, have we?
No.
We haven't seen him play.
He could come on in the second half, couldn't he?
I haven't even seen him at the training.
No, I haven't seen him at all. I don't even know what he looks like, though. But
no, he's been pictured in training.
Mikey Moore will play right wing, even though he's a left winger.
Or could you put Tel on the other side, more on the left?
Well, I said that, but Sean made a point that, you know, we've got to progress the guy who's going to play on that side. But do you think Tel, if we sign Gakpo, this is for Shawnee, that he turns around and does the Jed Spence and says, they're never going to play me, I might as well leave?
No, Mathys Tel was going to score 13 GA this season.
No, I'm asking, do you think that will make him think?
No.
I don't. No?
No. No, I don't think so. I
feel like he's up for the fight this year to prove people wrong.
I think De Zerbi loves Mathys Tel.
Yeah.
And I think he rates his work rate. I think he rates his talent. I think the fact that Tottenham play in the pre-season, they played everything down his side at every opportunity is, on one hand, because we don't have a Kudus on the right or anyone that's comparable. But I think it's healthy for Tottenham to get the Tottenham players to get used to throwing balls down the left with equal measure that they will also throw balls down the right-hand side when they have a right winger in place, whether that's Savinho, whether that's Kudus, or whether when Savinho comes in, it's Savinho and Kudus until has to sit on the bench. I don't see personally a meaningful difference between the three of them. I really don't. I think they're all better than each other at certain disciplines.
Yeah.
As good as each other or weaker than each other at other disciplines. I think they are all three, like they're three people that are kind of cut from a similar sort of cloth. I'm sorry, anyone that remembers Kudus' ability to take on one player and then doesn't have the ability to remember how he struggled when he had to take on two players, and then you see exactly the same thing with Mathys Tel, right? The Tottenham players in the end of last season were throwing everything towards Mathys Tel because there was no right winger. When there was the option to have Mathys Tel and Kudus, Thomas Frank didn't take it. He played Kudus on the right and he played someone else on the left-hand side, and it wasn't Mathys Tel. Mathys Tel got 3 or 4 minutes at the end of games. The biggest bozo that's ever managed Tottenham Hotspur, and I include
Igor Tudor.
I'll put him above that. But I'll include the Nottingham Forest and the West Ham manager, whose name escapes me.
Nuno,
thank you. Like, I think that Thomas Frank didn't play this team at all to its strengths at all because he was terrified and he wanted to just worry about the back line all the time. But for me, I think once Tottenham get Kudus and Tel, or Savinho and Tel, or Savinho and Kudus, and we can start to and have those sixes that can switch hit. Tonali can switch it. Fernandes sure as fuck can switch it. Conor Gallagher can switch it.
We're dangerous.
I think we'll see Kudus this weekend. I think we'll see 45 minutes of Kudus this weekend.
Maybe, right? But whoever it is,
apparently he's back in full training. Allegedly,
whoever it's playing this
weekend,
whoever it is that's going to play against Brentford. If Tottenham can field 2 wingers that are as competent, whether it's Savinho and Tel or Kudus and Kudus or Savinho, if you have dual threat down the wings, I think that is going to create unbelievable value.
You also can't double mark. You can't double mark Kudus. So it's going to free him up.
You can't double man mark Tel, and Tel can take on any man one by one, and so Savinho sure as fuck can. Right. So for me, I think Tottenham fans have been starved for so long of seeing a winger have to take on one man. I think if you have both wingers that can do that, then the consequences for the defensive alignment are what they are. And I think maybe you're right, Matt, that maybe De Zerbi is keeping things a little bit under his wraps, under his chest around how it is that he's going to play back three, back four, whatever. But as long as you have two wingers out there that can do what our three wingers, presuming Savinho comes in, what they can do, I think Tottenham have unbelievable value that Tottenham fans haven't seen. In the last 2 years, Tottenham fans have not seen a system where we have both wingers on the pitch.
100%.
Even before that, we just had Sonny for quite a lot of the time as a winger.
Yeah.
You know, but Sonny was just.
We had the German bozo for a while, who was brilliant.
Exactly.
Timo Werner.
Exactly.
But brilliant at getting to the byline. He was brilliant.
Yeah, Sonny was levels ahead, so he could actually kind of deal with it. I think it's on Johnny's lineup. I think the only question for me is whether it'll be Danzo or Davies who starts.
Daddy Davis.
I think that's for me with Kudus. I suspect Kudus is more likely to get minutes on Sunday than Saturday. If I'm brutally honest, I think
more likely on Sunday. You reckon?
I think he's more likely to get behind closed doors minutes on Sunday.
I think you're bang on the money. Yeah, I'd
can't.
Say so. Yeah.
You think the problem is, guys, right? You know, when you've been out of football for 8 months, training, doing running around on a bit of grass and a little bit of training here and there is not quite the same thing. So you've got to be really, really careful. That's all we need is him to break down.
You say that, Johnny. Look at the level of these friendlies, mate. Look at the level of them. I mean, they've been dog
shocking.
Shit, they've looked like a kickabout I used to have when I was 13 years of age.
But this is what I'm saying. They've been poor. But like what Sean says before is what I've been banging on about for ages. You know, last season, it's like telegraph football, Vicario to Kudos, doubling up, right? That's all you need to do. If I'm the opposition manager, just go 2s up on Kudos and that's them done. They've got no proper 10. Xavi Simons is finding his way. They'll pump it out to the midfield, they're done. You have dual threat and a threat through the middle and 2 progressive centre-backs and the Matheus Fernandes with his passing ability and Tonali, we are a massive threat. The trouble is we've never given them things to think about. Now we could have it.
We have not seen dual threat at Tottenham for years and
Don't remember it.
Yeah, absolutely. Last season we've been worked. Last season we've been worked out by the time Bournemouth had played us. We'd been worked out. Bournemouth doubled up on Kudus, and everyone's like, "Oh, Kudus clearly isn't that good." No. He has to get past 3 players, and what Bournemouth did was they put Semenyo on that side as well. So the 3 players got the ball off of Kudus. They passed it to Semenyo, and Semenyo had a free run at our defence. We desperately need options up front.
But that could at the beginning of the season, though, Rain, that could work into someone like a Tel, and also if Maddison's coming in and he's all good, that could work in their favour, because if Kudos comes on well at the beginning of the season, then if some games they do start doing that, then that opens the door up for like a Tel.
I wouldn't be.
And Tel's 10 times a player he was when he started.
3 years. For 3 years, right? Oh, two seasons, not 3. Dual threat, it doesn't just provide the wingers with opportunity. If you have a 6 who can switch and go in consummate ease, doesn't matter, pick a side, doesn't matter, and you do it in the first 10 minutes, you bang everything down to Kudos, and in the next 10 minutes, you bang everything down to Mathys Tel. It doesn't matter. Either way,
then play through the middle.
Those fullbacks have no fucking clue which way it's going to go, because you've got someone that could just pang, pang, pang. And then, by the way, if it turns out that the fullback needs to ask for help from the 6 or from the centre-back to come over and double man mark, you don't have to switch. You can, and this shouldn't be a criticism of Tel or of Kudos. If they turn around, look up and see 2-3 men in front of them and they recycle it, which I see this all the fucking time. I see it all the time from Tottenham fans go, "Oh, they got the ball and he just recycled it." Sometimes that's the right thing to do, because the person that you recycle it to then has an option to either lump it over to the other side where you've got a Kudos or a Tel or a Savinho or whoever it is, and then they trap it. The ball travels faster than the man. They can't get across as fast. They can take that. Or option fucking behind closed door number 3. What have we won, ladies and gentlemen? We've won a free number 10. And the number 10 has got all the space in the world to fucking stuck it in the top.
Well, this is it.
But then if you're, but based on that, we need to be, and based on the fact that this is me going by us not bringing a striker in, you got to start Richie. Because Solanke's he's fucking useless at getting in the box.
He's not even in the box.
He's not even in the box.
He doesn't even sniff it out.
He's not even half a yard behind. He's standing there looking up at the fucking stands.
That's fine.
You know what
I don't disagree with that. At the moment, especially on form, recent gravitas, I'd go for Richie over Solanke. Go on, Johnny.
And this goes back to the Lancashire argument. If you had this system coming into play and maybe or Savinho coming in as well. I'm telling you now, Lancashire's fucking movement. That's why.
That's why I wouldn't have sold Lancashire until we had the striker in. When the striker comes in, I would have sent him out on loan. But look, the thing is, anyone who can slag off Richie, it's the sport. But he got 15 GA last year in a absolute dog shit team with no wingers because Kudos has been out since January. No number 10, no wingers.
This could be his best season. Could be his best season coming.
But I think Richie. I was discussing this with Sean during the last friendly, because Richie's had the whole summer off. No football, no nothing. He's rested his body.
Point to prove, maybe.
That is, but he looked the freshest I've seen him in a long, long time.
Yeah.
Just
I
thought
that as well. I
even think he's been doing. I know he's been having his own sort of PT sessions and he's got his own sort of training now. And to be honest, since he's been
for a while,
he's been doing that, I don't want to jinx him, but he's been a lot fitter and less things have definitely gone.
Yes, he's got personal physio. Personal physio.
Yeah.
So I'll weigh in on Richarlison. He's fantastic in the box. He's fantastic when he has to do something instinctive. When he doesn't have to think outside of the box, he's got a tennis racket on the end of his foot.
100%. Yeah,
he hasn't got the best touch. I'll agree with that.
So he did lay off some good passes. You're right. He did lay off some good passes on last Saturday.
But then because of where we were at last season, he was having to drop deep as well, though, wasn't he? But I tell you what I would quite happily do. I'd swap Solanke for a fucking Chris Wood. I'd fucking do that all day long. I know that's.
I'd swap Solanke for a piece of wood.
No. No. Come on now. Chris Wood's 8 years old or whatever he is. Yeah. And a piece of wood is a piece of wood. Let me do the last couple of super chiddly chit chats, guys, and then we can round off. Daniel Field says every jewel counts. Big up to you, Danny boy.
Love it. I love it so much. Love it so much, man.
So funny. Big up to you, man. Thank you very much, Daniel. Always here supporting. Adam Gill says, where Xavi, Savio, and Gakpo were they at PSG?
Yeah, all three of them were, I think.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. And the band. Oh, this absolutely
get the band back together.
Get the band back together. You know, listen, have you seen Xavi? I mean, what a player. He is absolutely sensational. And Gakpo, I mean, top draw. You don't get better than Cody Gakpo. And who's that one? Savinho. Yeah, what a player. I mean, honestly, not quite as good as Aaron Lennon. No, Crouchy, probably not. But yeah, they'll do okay. They'll do okay. Big up to Adam. Big up to you, mate. Appreciate you. He's come back in with another one saying, I hope we bring in both Savio and Gakpo alongside Tel and Kudus. So you think Gakpo is being brought in to play in the centre? Oh, if we bring in
false nine, I reckon. He can play both.
You could switch it, Johnny, as well, if you wanted to go, Gakpo on the left and Tel in the false nine, just to change it up and keep people guessing.
Yeah.
Options. Yeah, 100%.
Options. Listen, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that's joined. We have been multi-streaming over here on Tottenham, Talking Tottenham 1882. Johnny's channel. Make sure you get over there and smash the sub. If you're over there, then make sure you get over here and smash the sub and hit the like button. Is that Trump, Sean? No, I'm done with Trump. Yeah. I'm not even going to do it. Not even going to do it. Listen, we'll be back later on for some more. Johnny, what's coming up on your show today? Are you doing anything today? Later on, what are you doing?
I'll do an upload as soon as I can get into my account. I'll sort that one out. Yeah, I'll be doing an upload later. I don't think I'll be doing a live unless something pops. Tomorrow I'll be at the stadium, so I'll do an upload pre-game, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm actually excited. I'm excited.
You got
I
tickets?
normally
You got a spare ticket, haven't you?
I got a spare if you'd like it.
I'm thinking about it. One fucking rat-a-tat-tat. Well, where? In the south stand or in the east stand?
It's sort of in the corner by the west.
Okay, how many tickets you going with? How many? What you got?
It's just me and Brandon.
Wee, yeah. Okay, I might take you up on that. I might take you up
All
on
right,
that.
buddy.
What time's the game?
3 o'clock.
Okay. I'll get up there about 9:30 then. You know, couple of fucking cheeky rat-a-tat magnums, and the conversations will converse, you know. Big up to Johnny. Make sure you get over to Talking to 882. Big up to Matt for coming on. Big up to you, bro. Your day off. He says he's lying in fucking bed, the lazy little git.
I did play golf earlier as well, so.
Well done, mate. Well done. Big up to mate Rain. Just before we let you go, are you in the office today?
I'm working. Look, I got a delivery today. Look, I got a delivery.
Did you get
no ads?
You use STS70, did you?
You're not supposed to eat them all in one mouthful, bro.
Did you use STS70?
Doesn't work like that.
Did you use the
I did my thing. Absolutely.
How, any initial thoughts?
I don't know. I've only opened the packaging, so.
Oh, okay.
Fucking, you must have lost. He must have lost a couple of pound opening the packet.
Just looking at him, Johnny.
Rain. When you go to bed tonight, make sure you take the three night pills. Right. You let me know what your dreams were like. Let me know what your dreams are. The dreams are. I'm not. People always go, "Oh, he's talking about wet dreams." I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying, like, they're fucking mental. Like you go off on some fucking traversing over the universe. It is bonkers. My dreams have been insane since I've been using that shit. So enjoy. Yeah. Big up to you. Big up to you, Adam, as well, mate. Listen, we'll get you on the rabbit hole soon as well, my man. Good to see you, bro.
Yeah, man.
You look well, mate. Yeah, good to see you looking healthy and happy. Big up to the 10 Jules. Big up to the Jules. Big up to the Jules crew. Guys, make sure you smash like, subscribe on Talking Tottenham and on this. And we will see you all later on this evening. I might even do another show later on because we've got to talk about tomorrow's game against Hoffenheim. But if you don't see me tonight, you'll see me tomorrow at the stadium, maybe with Johnny, or hopefully with Johnny. If not, I'll be here doing the watch along. But either way, love you all. Like, subscribe, and comment, guys. And as always, big up to you. Bye-bye.
Bye.